Excited.
Okay, so last time we played, you all had gotten some information from the Lust Wing, someone who might know how to make these weapons you came here for, by the name of Rexaries, resides in the Shimmering Halls, which you know are related to the Runelord of Pride. Upon making your way there, you walk down this very pristine-looking hallway, only to be met with your reflection being reflected back on itself with a set of two mirrors on each end of the hallway, which duplicated the first person to step inside of there, which was, I believe, Gork. You all kind of realized pretty quickly that, hey, let's smash these fucks before they create more of us. But in doing so, alerted to the fact of these identical men who were in the room who began just to pelt the area with fireballs. Eliminating two of you, as this is the one time you came in without fire preparedness. Before you had to make your retreat and magnificent mansion up and lick your wounds. But most of you did survive, and those of you who aren't are more than 99% chance of being brought back to life. But before we get into the game proper, we can flash to Loki if you want to have your little flashback scene.
Yep, just getting drink of water real quick. The loud slam of a door being barged open and an urgent shout shocked Afixa awake from a deep sleep. Though the vocalized message was lost in her dream-addled mind, Father Xanthus's hand gripped firmly on the young Asimar's arm, pulling her gaze to meet his directly. "Where's Dualia?" The severity of his voice sent a spike of adrenaline to help clarify her thoughts as she looked towards the empty bed on the other side of the room. I don't know. "That child, I swear by all that is good." The frustrated tone in his voice was unmistakable, but that thought was cut short as the priest turned his attention back to the confused Afixa. "We have to go." He held by the wrist, she was led from the small bedroom, and the acrid smoke that flooded her nose and stung her at her eyes was enough to make her aware of the situation. The cathedral is on fire. Shouting could be heard deeper in the structure as others saw to the evacuation of their fire suppression. The fresh night air was a welcome reprieve to the stifling atmosphere of the burning cathedral as they filed out along with several others that the father had directed along the way. Herded towards the rest of the clergy, the residents of the cathedral that were segregated from the citizens of Sandpoint who were drawn to the spectacle like moth to a flame. Fix immediately started weaving through the crowd looking for Nualia. As she searched, the sky brightened as flames cascaded along the roof and through the windows that could not contain the inferno. There was no sign of Nualia nor Father Tobin, leaving Ifixa driven by panic by the time she came across the twisted physique of Nefer Vosk. "Have you seen Nualia?" she asked one of the few people she regarded as her friend. Last I saw, she was following Father Tobin to the chapel, but that was a while ago, and wait, where are you going?" Wits had since abandoned her, replaced by desperate need to protect her friend. Fix sprinted back into the cathedral. "Nualia!" she shouted, with a last lungful of good air that she brought from the outside, after bolting through the front doors towards the chapel. The heat in the space was oppressive, but not as much as the smoke that obscured her vision and caused her to choke. Keeping as low as she could, she moved deeper into the cathedral, relying entirely upon the familiarity of the home she had known all her life to find the way. She tried to call out again, but smoke made her voice too weak to carry beyond the din of the fire. Diffused firelight danced all around her amid the cloud of ash and embers, even as her lungs ached for a breath of clean air. A shadow moved among the flames, though too distorted to make out anything beyond the dark amorphous blob among the orange and red surroundings. A desperate hope flashed through her as she called out to it, but only managed to let out a bout of violent coughing that she could not stop. She could hear beams breaking nearby, causing sections of roof to fall and wall to collapse that served as a stark reminder of the peril she was in. Unable to abate her coughing fit, she took a few more steps towards the silhouette before her legs gave out, causing her to collapse to the stone floor. The silhouette moved towards her, but unconsciousness took her before the figure neared enough to identify. There she is! Ifixa roused amid the cacophony of distant voices. Every breath she took felt like glass in her lungs that prevented her from taking anything but the shallowest of breaths, and she ached all over from the countless burns. When she opened her eyes, she recognized Nafer, who had remained unmistakable despite the layers of soot and ash as he carried her from the collapsing building. "Thank you," she spoke in a hoarse, whisper-thin voice before inquiring, "Nualia?" A frown tugged at the corner of the gravekeeper's lips and simply answered with a slight shake of his head. Too weak to do anything else, Ifixa wept in her friend's arms as the rest of the night's events played out around them. End scene.
End scene. Good
Man,
job.
that bitch has been nothing but trouble.
Yeah, right from the get-go. And then next week it'll be either Cope or Kenneth, whichever one of you wants to do so. I'll probably ask you at the end of the session who wants to go, but for now,
I can do it. I've already got mine half typed up, and when Loki volunteered that he had written his the other day, I just said okay.
there you go. So next week will be Emmanuel, and then Reese will lead the rear. But you're all in the magnificent mansion that is the most posh cave you've ever seen.
Cave.
But yeah, what are you all doing? I imagine you settle down for the rest for the first, the night to recover your strength.
Yeah.
Proposing.
So anyone who's still alive, you could say that you are topped off to max health and everything because you had healing left. I remember. So
Decomposing. Manuel has Dose helping him set up his very posh tent because this is just not nice enough in here.
We have 3 glass chandeliers inside this cave. What more do you want? Them to be mounted on the ceiling?
Oh, are there? I hadn't
They're
thought
so
of
small,
that.
I never even realized that those were chandeliers. I thought they were just
Candle
tapestries or
holders.
something. In Mathoon.
oh, in the glory of Malthoon.
In Malthoon, we just glue a indentured servant without pay to the ceiling to hold it.
We just take the hook, we hang our lantern halfling on it, and there we go.
Well,
Then
we
once a
don't
week, we
actually
throw a
hang
roll
it.
at him.
I mean, he knows to go up there and do it. We don't have to do it.
Well, he has stumpy little legs. You have to lift him up to hang him properly.
Well, that's why we have the hanging giant.
And he's gotten really good at catching
What do
the
you
roll
mean?
because we only throw it the one time.
Yeah, you all awaken after the night's rest. A question for Affixes: who do you revive first? Who's your favorite?
Probably Lucilla. Yeah, Lucilla.
Stone cold, man.
I believe Lucilla comes up as 1 hit point.
I took your side with the whole Noalia thing.
Oh, you did. Yeah, but she feels that she
I
abandoned
know.
Lucilla
I'm
once.
just fucking.
It's a size loyalty thing.
It was a lose-lose. She was going to get grief
Gork's
either
a
way.
whole 5 inches taller.
I feel like Lucilla's the only one who would have been sad that she was resurrected second, so I think you did the right thing.
I think that's a challenge.
Just leave Gork.
That got a bit out of hand, didn't it?
I really thought holding up that mirror to that mirror would work.
Was as good of an idea as any. That would have been really cool had it actually worked.
Right?
I mean, at least we made it back and only lost 2 people for the time being. But I'm not gonna let any more be gone.
You ever consider the metaphysical implications of the fact that we can just ignore death now?
A little bit. Definitely a welcome change given the streak we're going through a while there.
I mean, yeah.
I've been running it through in my head over and over, and it just doesn't seem like a society with this ability would work.
Yeah, I have wondered that for a while, too. I mean, like, I'm alive, but, like, obviously, like, undead's, like, the halfway point between this, and we talk about that like it's the worst thing in the world. It really makes you think, don't it?
Some people
And
talk
really,
about
it really is just the next step beyond healing magic, right?
I mean, I guess.
I would say Felix kind of chimes in, like, as his cat form. He's like, I think you're all forgetting the fact that Afixa here is the weirdo. Like, points at her with his tail.
Mhm.
Most of the time, this is expensive as fuck.
That's true.
Even for dragons. Like,
I
damn.
guess it's comforting to know that life and death functions on the free market economy, but
Also,
yeah, no, see that.
wait,
I was
hold on.
thinking-
Why are more rich people not immortal then?
I mean, how often do rich people die from anything but old age?
Can you keep someone going from old age death?
I would
I
think
don't
not.
know.
By making, if you did something like make yourself eternally younger, there's some ways I think it's possible to do it. Or if you're a monk, I don't think you can die of old age.
If you're a level 20 monk, you cease aging.
just live forever as a monk.
So look into monkhood.
Well, don't look into it, because if you do it, you're gonna have to be dedicated.
Yeah.
I can get through it. I've done a lot of studying.
I've done a lot of monkeying around in my time.
I like what you did there.
Gonna be one of those drunken master monks. They seem like they get to have fun.
They get to drink all they want, and they
Meg-
become physically perfect. Are you fucking
Yeah,
kidding
could you
me?
imagine that? There's like the monastic monk and then the drunken master
Talk
monk.
about
And he's
fucking
like,
fiction.
I spent 20 years meditating on top of a mountain to obtain enlightenment. I got fucked up in a bar and kicked the shit out of someone, and now I'm gonna live forever.
And then
Also-
immune to poison,
God.
isn't he?
I also like the notion of, the monk just wanders from town to town and just waits for somebody to just pick a fight with the drunkard and just wail on him.
You see, I
Like, this is a
consumed
lesson.
so many alcoholic substances that my internal organs are like preserved like a mummy.
I call it pickled.
Yeah, I'm a human pickle jar.
All right. So that's my next character's name is Pickle, and he's a drunken monk.
Who's vulnerable to fire. His blood alcohol content is so high, it is flammable.
And you see, when he really wants to fuck up with somebody, he just cuts himself and he flings the blood at somebody who has a torch and just catches on fire and explodes.
That vampire got a lot more than he was bargaining for.
Never seen a vampire die from alcohol poisoning before. That was impressive.
That's what you should have had Manfred do, is when he went to suck somebody's blood, it turns out they were way too fucking drunk.
That's
We
an
just
actual thing from Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, I saw that in an interview with the vampire too.
Yeah.
A great YouTube video called Hunter the Parroting made a joke about that, where a guy went vampire hunting while completely high on PCP. So every time a vampire bit him, they just went into seizures and hallucinating.
That's one way to go, man.
Yeah, that's one way to get him.
So I don't want to hold you guys too much on to like what you guys are doing day to day, but is there anything during this time of like probably 3 days that anything you guys wanted to accomplish during that time? Any scenes you want? I don't want it to go by hour or anything, but
I mean, I can't really think of anything for Lascelles.
Yeah, me either. Are we going to get Gork and then wait one more day, or are we just going to go in
I
right
think that's
after?
I think that's what you said last time. You wanted to wait an extra day for Afixa so you could have all your power back because you take a lot of it to revive people.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
I remember last time we were here, that was like the last conversation we had, and everyone seemed on board with it, which is why I can bring it up that way.
Because if I bring somebody back, I have 3 uses of lay on hands left per day, but that could still be enough to get through at least one cave with all of our other healing.
I say rest. I just got this tent up. It took me 35 hours.
Did it take you or did it take your bear?
Bear, he's really slow without opposable thumbs.
I can just see it. He finishes getting the tent up. The spell expires.
He shuts it out the door and he has to rebuild it every time.
Damn it!
Like the Legend of Sisyphus. Eternally rolling the builder.
I will always
boulder
build
uphill.
this tent inside the mansion that disappears when I'm done. I explained that to my daughter as a what happens to people in hell the other day.
So Gorg, you're revived on the second day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go ahead and put your HP to maximum because you're going to be camping for a while.
Yep.
So you'll be able to get that stuff back. And so if there's nothing happening for the second day of anything in particular, on the third day when the spell expires, you're putting the doorway back up. I want everyone to make me a perception check.
Please tell me someone figured out a quick way to put up this tent.
I set it on fire. I eliminated the temptation.
Solve the problem.
When I say that, it's neither of my characters. It's real life me. I just appeared and set your tent on fire.
So with those rolls, the ones who notice are Emmanuel, Gork, and Rish. So you all notice things differently. Emmanuel, you notice that as you're getting ready to put the door back up, the grounds are a little bit more disturbed than you remember them. Because there's a vague amount of debris in this room, especially from the attacks on the Envy halls that are just down the way. So you notice that something's been in this central chamber while you guys have been in the doorway. Gork, you begin to get whiffs in your nose as you kind of like get on all fours and kind of sniff around, and you smell the scent of like rot and decay in the general area. It's faint, like it's not like present at this moment, but there's definitely something dead or undead has been here within the last day. Rish, you're the one that notices something arcane about the situation. You do a quick detect magic, and you all realize, as I'm sure Rish would probably explain, someone has been outlining the doorways with magic to identify where they were the first time, and then the second doorway was also marked. So someone has been coming here and keeping watch on the doorways and how they've been placed.
Oh, for the mansion?
Yeah. Because it is invisible, but it is still technically present.
Somebody's trying to hack our mansion?
They definitely tracking when they come and go.
But that's all you do see as you put your third mansion up. So anything you wish to proceed with otherwise?
Is there like any sort of way to track where that direction, like where that person might come from?
With those perceptions, even that there's not like dirt on the ground to like you can track footprints.
Yeah, that's kind of was wondering if there's dusty.
If you were gonna put a shot in the dark, you imagine if it smells like death, necromancy might be a good bet.
Yeah,
That's
I was
fair.
gonna have Lucilla say that if nothing else.
That's not really a thing I have to really give you. It's pretty obvious. So in terms of death, necromancy, there's a good chance that they're linked together. But you don't have any details of tracks or what was here.
While they're talking, I'm going to take out a scroll of see invisibility and cast it. Make sure it's not still here.
Yeah, you cast see invisibility and you do not see anything here.
Yeah,
No,
2
no
hours
one
until it
just-
expires.
Yep. But initially you don't see it. If you want to come and keep an eye out outside the doorway every now and then for the next couple hours, you can.
So is this the end of the second day, and we're about to go in for the?
You're
third
basically on the third day of, so you're resting, and then you're going to be leaving after you do like a long rest. Is essentially what this boils down to right now.
I think I'll leave Felix out to keep an eye out.
Okay.
And with a
Alright.
stealth check.
Does he have true sight or anything?
No.
Just trying to see if I can give him anything.
That should be 4 higher with his racial modifier.
No worries. So 21.
I have one more scroll of it, but also he can just hide on top of a statue. So.
He's a cat.
Mhm. So during the basically night's rest, which is kind of hard to tell because you're in cave system, and day and night mean nothing right now. We know this because playing the other game.
Yep.
So you wouldn't all see that, but Felix does see something kind of shambling down the hallway towards the gluttony hallway. He sees a single zombie. Not even a zombie. Like this is more skeleton than zombie.
Mhm.
It just kind of shambles in. It's carrying what looks like a small pouch. Just kind of rattles its way over. It makes its way towards the doorway.
Mhm.
The pouch opens up, and you see him take what looks like a multicolored soot/dust, and begin to kind of rub it around where the doorway would be.
Could he attempt a knowledge roll to deduce the type of undead it is?
Oh yeah, roll knowledge religion. Straight up skeleton.
Okay. So most likely just following a command of some kind.
Mm-hmm. But as it finishes putting like the residue around the doorway, it begins to shamble back down the hallway and disappears out of sight if nothing happens to it.
And it has stepped back down the necromancy path?
Yes.
Okay. Felix will wait a little bit longer just to see if there's a follow-up. And if not, would probably try to remove the outline if possible.
Mm-hmm. You do the best you can, and it seems like it's smeared it a little bit, but it seems like. Does he have knowledge, arcana, or spellcraft on his sheet?
He has spellcraft.
Roll spellcraft. This dust functions similar to like a residual fairy fire kind of thing outline.
Okay.
It honestly could be washed away with water very easily. It's very mundane in terms of magical stuff. It's just can't see it to the naked eye.
Gotcha. Okay, with that, Felix will probably come inside and let everybody know what he saw.
Easy enough to do. You all complete your last rest for the third day. Stretch those hammies. Get ready for the day. Gork, Lucilla, you're feeling a little bit more refreshed. It's a little surreal coming back a couple times, but
Hey, 2 more times and they get a free milkshake.
I'll make sure I have one prepared.
How many times have you died?
Gork twice, Lucilla 2, 3 times.
Affix, you
Do
need to be
see
careful.
anything?
We all know milkshakes bring all the bears to the yard.
This is true. Well-known power.
Only her milkshake.
Yeah.
Well, it is better than yours.
But the afterlife is very well documented, Emmanuel.
So when you died for that little bit of time, what'd you see?
A line.
Of people waiting to get there.
Waiting to be judged by Pharasma, the Lady of Grace.
Was there a shorter
for that one guy
line
that got
for
stolen by an
people
old
who
lady.
were more important?
I mean, yes, but it looks like they were going to hell.
Okay. Duly noted.
And there was that one guy that did get grabbed by like a crazy hag-looking lady, and she ran away laughing while some flying skeletons chased her. It was wild.
But anyway, your third and final rest is done for the day, and you're free to progress through this cacophony of madness that is the Runeforge.
If curious enough, we could find a way to let you see.
Yeah, let me kill you real quick.
No. I just wanted to make sure that all the stories are true. Should we go back down the mirror hall with the fireballs, or should we go see what the skeleton keeps doing?
Let's go down the mirror halls.
Yeah,
We know what to expect down there, and
try
I'm
to
ready
set up
for it.
that.
Let me go ahead as well.
How about quick dedication of protection from fire?
That's probably a good choice.
So how much does this protect from?
120?
20?
Yep.
20, and then when that's up, it I believe 30 resistance.
If you want to save your spell, Trish, I don't have much I use my spells for.
Yeah, I pulled that one specifically.
Okay.
Also got 3 invisibilities prepped. I don't know if anyone else wants to get the drop on them.
I will go ahead
I
and drag
did.
you into the map to make it easier for when you do progress.
When we get there, Fix will cast a greater angelic aspect on herself. Say, if you want to do invisibility, I could draw their fire one direction. You could sneak in from the other side. I don't
I'm
think
going to put up my gravity.
too much
bow.
magic will be able to touch me with this.
Although, as we learned when the goblin went down the one time in the sawmill, that does have that aura that negates spells below 4th level, I believe.
Yeah, because I think anything below 4th won't affect you, and that includes ally spells. So
Yep.
Yeah.
invisibility wouldn't work with angelic aspect, would it?
No, probably not.
I believe the negation only kicks in after you cast the spell. It doesn't retroactively eliminate the buffs on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe it's when it's cast on you.
Yeah.
I can just click it here. I think I've still. No, I took the description out.
Immunity to acid, cold, and petrification, resistance to electricity and fire. This is
I think
greater,
that's the
right?
medium.
Yeah.
I think that's the medium.
I'm looking at greater.
No, it's greater.
Yeah, I put it in bracket. So, okay. And then
Let's see. Protective aura and true speech as supernatural abilities for the duration spell. Wings, you fly, speed of 60
the
feet.
vulnerability is the part that negates.
And lesser globe of invisibility. 3rd level or lower. So anything of 3rd level or lower just doesn't affect you.
Mhm.
And anyone
Yep.
within a 10-foot
It's
radius around you.
It's the full globe, which is 4th or lower.
I just turned into my werebear form.
Yeah, it is nice and easy.
Right. Shall we kick things off?
Let's get you initiative checker on here.
I would think that anything already buffing him would be fine because it says
Yeah, it's
any
just
type
anything you
of-
cast while that's active.
any type of spell trying to go through into it doesn't work because he can cast out of it. So I
Yeah,
would
so
think
you have to
anything
cast
inside of
invisibility
it.
and then the greater aspect.
I would time it as such.
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
So who wants to be invisible? Besides me. I got 2 of them. I'm sure someone else can cast.
Yeah, I'd take it. Oh. No, I'd only fight, so that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, same with
Yeah, but it'd keep them from fireballing you right off the bat.
I'm immune.
They probably also have other spells.
All right, so Emmanuel won't be getting it. Let's give a Fixa and
I mean,
who wants
Lucilla.
to
So she
yeah, Lucilla.
died.
and myself.
Yeah, I would put it on Lucilla instead of Emmanuel.
Yeah.
And no need to put on a fix this. She's trying to draw fire to give you guys a chance to.
Well, it's regular invisibility goes away as soon as you punch someone.
Mhm.
But all right.
That's-
What about Pledrum? Does he have enough spells to be effective that way?
think he's a bishy bashy type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have spells, but they're not very offensive.
Okay, so let me see. Going to descending.
Last
So,
thing,
Fixa, you're invisible and your greater aspect.
Mm-hmm.
last thing is I'll go ahead and put Airwalk on Gork with the staff, so that he can probably catch up to if these guys take off.
So Rish, Lucilla are invisible? Or did you give it to Emmanuel too?
I believe just Rish and Lucilla.
Before this turn of initiative, Fix would have asked, Emmanuel and Pledrum to back up a little bit in case if they're waiting to launch a fireball at the first thing that rounds the corner.
Absolutely.
Then
You don't.
the fly speed is 60. Go here, and there
And
for
so
the first half.
So, question: Fixa is invisible right now, right? Or no?
If she wants to be.
Didn't we break one of those mirrors?
I'll take the invisibility if she has one to spare.
And yeah, the mirrors as you pass by are still broken.
Does an invisible fix that we can't see appear before us?
No.
Or can we not see it?
Maybe.
All right.
I was going to say it wouldn't be able to appear before us if it were invisible. Now, would it?
Yes. So, Fixa, as you
Yeah,
round
that's
the corner,
Mhm.
you see all of these people. They all look identical to each other. They're all there with their hands to their sides, because kind of looking forward in different angles, but otherwise just kind of standing there, not doing much.
Okay. So first movement gets there, and then second movement, she'll go there. Could you make out anything around the statue or anything about the statue?
So yeah, as you're in this room proper, I can give you the flavor text of this area. Let me give 1 second.
She'll land there.
So yeah, the corridor opens into this immense cathedral. Polished ivory, mirrored walls rise to a height of nearly 100 feet up in the air. Where you see vaulted ceiling arches. They're all like in majestic fashion. You see 4 immense chandeliers hang from a golden chains that brightly illuminate the entire room. And at the center of the cathedral, on a 3-step dais of polished wood, supports a peacock the size of a wyvern. You see its feathers spread regally behind it, and the eyes seem to hold a great depth of wisdom and intelligence. Every so often, you see it kind of ruffle its feathers before it kind of sits back in place.
Okay. Out of curiosity, at a glance, can I see which one of these has the mark of wrath?
That is funny. Yeah, that is one of them that have it. Let me check which one would. Yep. This one has it.
Okay. All right, and that'll be Fix's turn going there.
I completely forgot about that. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Right.
I was gonna say something too, but beat me to it. So I remember that.
Emmanuel.
So I guess we're waiting for a signal. Yeah, probably waiting for a signal.
Mirror's broken. Just move.
Out of character, the Runeforge bonus is that back on Emmanuel?
This one, let me bring up the document.
Or negatives? I don't remember
So
anybody having a
this
negative in
one-
here.
Emmanuel has a bonus. Nobody has a negative in here.
Did Lucilla get the bonus too? I'm trying to remember.
No.
Okay.
Wait, no, she does
I
too.
thought
Yeah.
somebody else. Maybe
Yeah,
Fix got it.
Lucilla does too.
Emmanuel checks his bow. It's still there. He's good.
Oh no, hold on. I take it back. I mistyped. Let me just double check because there's a couple of them that are listed wrong. Okay, no, 2 people do have penalties in this chamber. Pledrum and Affixa both have penalties here.
All right.
I did not remember that. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine. I didn't do this last time because I actually wrote it down as illusion instead of pride. And those are technically the same thing for the swing. You already knew that from doing your rolls and stuff, so it's not anything I'm giving you. So, Emmanuel, you just staying put for your turn?
Yep.
Gork?
Well, I guess I'm going to try advancing again. Yeah, anything?
They're all revealed if you.
No, I meant just making sure that a copy of me doesn't appear and start trying to beat
Oh,
me
no.
up again.
The mirrors are shattered. There's no worries with that.
All right. And Affixa went south, right?
Yes.
Probably should cast haste before I fix the left, but oh well.
I'm going to defense hold action there for now. Sorry, that was unclear to me. I am taking the full defense action, and I am going to stay here for now.
Gotcha. Reesh.
I realized I said two overlapping things right there, so clarified.
Oh, good.
25, 30. And double move on out into the chamber.
Mm-hmm. Inside, all 6 men are just arms to their sides, just kind of staring listfully in different directions. Just waiting.
Well, that's interesting. They kind of got on us as soon as we rounded half a corner back there last time.
Does Rish see anything with the see invisibility is no longer
Yeah,
out?
that was yesterday.
Yep.
Could cast it again, but might be a good idea even. But that was a double move, so it's Pledrum's turn.
Okay, so are we trying to be stealthy?
I mean,
Not really.
roll
I'm just
stealth.
moving into position, but just be cautious. If anybody gets seen, there's a chance that they're about to get a face full of fireball.
Yeah, I didn't stealth. I just didn't present a target.
Yeah. Fix is just gaining position to lay waste.
Yeah, that's why I kind of offered to turn half the party invisible, figuring someone could get the other half.
Fix is invisible.
All right, I guess I'm going to. How far ahead is Fix? Because I can't see her. I guess.
Yeah,
She
she's
is
here.
about 70 feet away from directly south of you.
But you know she's invisible too.
Yeah.
I guess I'll wait. So, I will cast mirror images on myself.
And you have 1d4 plus 4, I think, at this level, so.
Yeah.
You're at the peak of mirror image viability. 5 images up. You see them kind of perk their head up a little bit at the casting of a spell, but they don't seem to be moving aggressively or anything. Lucilla?
I will. Visible. Head around here. How far was that? Okay, that's one move. And then I will roll stealth, so that's all as far as I'll be able to go.
No worries. You're also
Plus
invisible,
whatever.
so I think plus 20, so.
Yeah.
36.
Half speed, technically a double move.
You see the one closest just begins to move this way. Up to here. But I believe, let me just check his vision. Doesn't really see anybody, so he's just going to stay there, and the rest of them kind of just stay put. And it doesn't fix his turn.
The one she was wanting to attack moved away. She's trying to save this one for Gork to reclaim what is his.
Doesn't much matter.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rolling buff, I imagine.
Well, if it's on a fix, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get rid of it.
This is true.
I think she'll move here And then take a swing at this guy.
Yeah, that'll definitely confirm. 50 points. As it slash into his back, you hear a muffled grunt as he doesn't like open his mouth to exclaim in pain, but just reflexively you hear it out of his mouth, and he just turns to you. They all kind of turn to you at this point, now seeing a creature in the room. Like,
hello. Miss me?
you shall be punished for daring to venture this close to our master's magnificence.
You could certainly try.
Please do not scream too loudly. He is in contemplation.
Continent? What?
Emmanuel.
Need to eat more roughage, I scream from around the corner.
As he bear charges.
Yeah,
That's a
I
hell
know
of a
this, because
death
how do
cry.
you think we managed to not poop for all winter?
Got a dwarf doing that.
Yep. Just a quarter of the year, he's very unpleasant.
You guys are happy that you found him right before that quarter of the year starts?
Right?
But shortly after the first thaw, he becomes really calm and nice to be around.
Good thing you guys caught him before winter. Are you just moving up to the corner there, Emmanuel?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
nothing's gone down yet, right?
You
Affix's attack.
were far enough away that you probably didn't hear Affix's thrust, but you did hear some talking after that.
Okay.
But if you want to stay put there, it'll go to Gordon.
Yeah, I couldn't move any further in the attack, so stay hidden for a round.
5 feet. Alright. Not gonna charge him, just gonna normal style run in. Show him what for. So let me turn all the stuff on. Friendly rivalry. No Bardics. Okay, this should just be a normal style. 33.
Hits.
And then I am going to actually grapple this fella because I know he's a spellcaster and that fucks with him.
Go for it.
25.
25 does it. He is grappled.
All right.
Yeah, that bodes well for what I'm doing.
Reesh, I have a feeling I know what you're doing.
Happen to have black tentacles right there. Upcast. 40 grapple.
I should get that 1 feat that when you grapple someone, you can use your reaction to maneuver them as a human shield. Take range attacks for you.
What's the radius on it?
20.
20.
Should be enough to get them all. But
They are very much grappled. And they all take 6 points of damage.
that one is selective, so when it comes down to it, so no, that's the
I
you
don't
got
know
the
about
5th
anyone
edition.
else, but I can't see the aura of
Okay.
tentacles.
Yeah, I always forget to hit the button.
Yeah, no, I do all this. I do the same thing all the time.
Yeah, you got the 5th edition diagonals on this map.
Okay, I'll fix that real quick too. There we go. They should be properly. If they're not, we just need to reload.
I'm just moving towards this last dude, and that's my turn.
Gotcha. Pledrum. There's fighting afoot.
Fighting a foot.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be
But
confused with
that's
the Ninja Turtles fighting the foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already killed your character that did that, Richard.
Hey, no, mine had battle toads.
Well,
Big
that weird
difference.
orcish candy fight by the foot.
Oh, they were teenage amphibians. You were teaching ninjutsu as they lived in the sewer.
Again, battle toads.
You had
That's
outreach
the,
centers
Korean
where you brought in
version, untrademarked.
disenfranchised youth to turn them into your kung fu cult. Like, you were the shredder.
Yeah, I was a shredder.
It was
All
just
right.
the Chinese black market version.
Like grapple.
The range on a thrown weapon is 10 feet.
I believe so.
Usually.
So it would be a -1 at 15.
-2.
-2.
But you're also going against is flat-footed.
Yep, and you'll have blood for the Empire because I already hit him once.
All right.
And he has some deduction because he's grappled. So.
Starting Inspire Courage, Arcane Strike, Blood for the Empire. I've got the Rune Forge penalty.
And since they are grappling, I will say if you get a natural 1, you will hit Gork because I find that funny.
Yep, that's fair.
All right. And then I'll put a temporary -2. All right. So here is that throw.
That hits. 37 points of damage.
So he's taken 57 points now.
Yeah, he is wounded.
Nice throw.
Still up though.
Again, it hits as if that loot were 3 size categories larger than it actually is.
Also, it's made out of pure metal.
Mm-hmm. So it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Just throw it at him, hits him in the head, bong, before it just returns to you.
He is hit with the force as if a giant had dropped his loot on him. Okay. All right.
Guess I'll just double move there while still invisible. Because I need to get closer to do anything with anyone anyway.
Impact of your first rock and roll concert.
You hear 4 simultaneous voices, 3 from the tentacles and 1 from Gork. Like, this is problematic. And they are all going to try to break free. Let's see, do they have escape artists? They do not. So this will just be their CMB, which is terrible.
31s for mine.
Natural 20s are going to be needed to get rid of any of these. So the 3 from the tentacles.
Yeah, I'm
nope.
40.
1 from Gork. Nope. The one next to Afixa steps back and is going to. Nope. They are going to target Reesh with this. As I need you to roll me a will save, as they are going to attempt a feeble mind on you. That'll pass. The other one is now going to do the same. As they see a spellcaster and they don't like.
Yep.
Fast again.
Do grappled foes still get to cast? They just have to roll concentration, or do they lose?
They all use their actions to try to break free from the
Okay.
ground.
I was just curious about the rules because I couldn't quite recall in general.
I'm ruling it that if they are verbal only, they can do it. They just need to roll to cast defensively with a modifier on it.
Makes sense.
Yep, checks out.
That way it's still at least possible. But again,
Yeah,
verbal
I like
only. If
that.
they need somatic or material, they're plumb fucked.
Mhm.
They still have a chance. It's just astronomical.
Fix will 5-foot step there and full attack.
The default rules, the chance of doing it is like natural 20 or no.
Yeah,
And-
it's like 20 plus the CMD plus a
Yeah.
whole bunch of shit.
So Fix is going to full attack, but with the last attack of the scimitar, she'll quote unquote accidentally clip the and attack the statue instead, clipping off a few feathers if it lands.
No worries. Hits, confirms.
13 versus the statue.
You swing and it just seems to pass right through it.
Ah.
And then you smack him with the shield and he goes down.
Adamantine?
Yeah, but apparently it just might not be real.
Yeah, it passed. You've seen illusion.
Oh,
before.
illusion.
It passes through like an
Yeah.
illusion.
We are in the illusion wing.
Yep. I disbelieve my existence.
Well, you're all the way back there, so they all disbelieve you're there too.
Is it an action to try to disbelieve the statue here?
If you've cut through it, you believe it's fake.
But that doesn't mean I get to kind of see what it's hiding, or it doesn't become.
You don't see what
Data.
you don't see if it's hiding anything or no. You would
Okay.
have to roll on that.
Okay, so I know it's fake, but I don't.
You don't know what's
the
hiding.
illusion doesn't dim or fade at all.
Yeah.
Okay. And that'd be my turn.
Oh, I'm glad you said that was your turn because I was already dancing my ass up here. Those three are trapped. Gork's got that one. This one's still alive.
Mhm.
Has it been hit by anybody with Blood
No.
for the Empire?
Hasn't been hit by anybody.
Okay.
Also, you can move 55 feet or even and still take
No,
action.
I can move. I can only move 40.
You're there, so wouldn't 40 be like here or here?
Hold on, move me back. I thought I was counting it through. Ah! I was right here. So 5, 10, 15, 25 would be 30, 40.
Okay. I just 45. Why not? I don't know why it's not working for me, but it works for you. Whatever. It's fine. Diagonals are weird.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I can move back 5 more.
Again, it doesn't matter too much. I'm pretty sure these guys, now that you're prepared, are going to be nothing.
All right. So shooting at this cat right over here.
Yep.
Bardic buffs up. Yes.
No. Or Pledrum's is, but not
Pledrum,
Uso's.
Yeah, Inspire Courage is up.
Okay. Swift action. Put up my tiger and mouse aspects. And take a vital strike. Gravity bow. Improved vital strike.
That hits and takes a big old chunk out of him.
Right. And then I can't see my bear, but I'm reaching for him. If you could bring him up.
So 20 feet to there. So you should be able to see him now, can't you?
No.
And then 40 feet to get to here.
All right. So he'll take one swipe from around the back of Gork.
He's getting double teamed by two brothers. Wait.
Wait.
What are you doing there?
Terrible. That would be Blood for the Empire since Gork hit him. Power attack. And pretty simple. So here we go. Just going to take a slam.
Two brothers going at a bareback? What?
Okay, you're trying too hard now.
All right.
Jesus.
And Gork, the body goes limp and begins.
Damn it. Sorry.
I
Gork.
hate it
I
when
was
this
trying to
happens.
leave you to full attack.
Just give him 10 minutes.
Dude, when my brother sneaks up behind me and goes double team on someone, it does it to me too.
Well, at least he was able. His
It's like staged, right?
Just giving you crap before Loki.
yeah, the old reach around maneuver always does it, right, Gork?
Finished him.
Oh man, it's a wonder
Roll
we don't have more
Tide.
viewers on YouTube. Anywho,
Did somebody just say roll tide?
Anywho, I'm charge this fella 40 feet. I should, because charge is speed.
Double
power.
movement, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can absolutely charge that guy.
Indeed you can.
Okay. It's a. All right. Let me make sure I take off the grappled condition. Friendly rivalry. And then it's a temporary +2 for. I'll just add it in after I roll it. See this way. Shazam. Natural 20. That
Yep. Crit confirms. 49. Guess what, Gork? You have your Mark of Wrath back.
Woo!
As the brand that came off of you after you died is now back upon you.
What does that do again?
It,
A few things. It gives you inside bonus to AC and attack and damage.
Mhm.
You can also use a swift action to cast Fire Shield as a 15th level.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, ironically.
Actually, I think it just provides you damage against anyone that melee attacks you.
Yeah. That's how I remember. It's not literally against fire.
Yeah, if something
So-
attacks you, they take cold damage if you choose chill shield, or fire damage if you choose warm shield. Still a fun spell,
Oh yeah,
especially
it's
since
good.
you're a melee.
Yeah,
fuck.
since I'm an actual melee person, that's good.
And in my mind's eye, I'm just imagining the Majinem on his head now.
See, I was thinking of the Mark of the Beast from Doom, but that's just me.
According to the picture, because they actually have a picture of the woman that has this.
Hmm.
Let me just go back to the picture. It looks like a stylized like thunderbolt going from like the center of the forehead going back past the back of the scalp.
You're saying he's the bear who survived.
Yeah, he's a bear who lived,
You
but
are
not
a
really.
wizard now, Harry.
I was gonna say I don't think Gork is quite as stupid as Vegeta, and that is my honest opinion.
And I will say, I'm going to go ahead and expedite this fight. These guys are not getting out of this tentacle,
Yeah, they did.
so they dead. It's a selective black tentacle, so you can just take your time to go in there and kill them.
A big old sensor bar just descends, and the imagination handles it.
Just
You're
take
all-
our grossest spells, combine them, and that's what we did.
We're all left in this quiet room of a just imaginary peacock.
All peacocks are imaginary. It's just a liberal myth.
I haven't seen one in person. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
They're just like unicorns.
I joke. I have seen one in person. I've seen them on people's mailboxes before.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing behind.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
You never seen a peacock before?
No, I've seen peacocks, but never on somebody's mailbox. I've seen them at the zoo and the wild animal park.
And
There was a place where I lived growing up that there was a farm that just had like a herd of peacocks.
Oh, that's cool.
There was
trying to reinvent the chicken.
there was a farm out where I lived that had I think they were ostriches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
or
one out-
emus maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of
maybe.
emus around where I grew up.
Again, because everyone was trying to reinvent the chicken.
It's a big damn bird.
People also got a lot of backyard chickens.
I mean, sometimes you want one egg that can feed a family of 12.
I've had an emu burger, and it's not bad.
No, I've had them before. They're pretty good.
I don't know
It's
if you
just
got
such a weird thing for rural Northern California
Yeah.
to see a bunch of cows and goats, and then just
An
there's a
ostrich
field
or
that's
a-
got just a bunch of emu, and you're like, what the fuck?
why is it what's this big fucking bird? What the fuck?
And the cruel part is where I grew up, they were near the airport too. I guess they were just trying to break their spirits or something.
You think that's
the
weird?
wings
The
cannot
wolf that's
fly,
just come
but
back, or
us,
the
the
coyote?
monkeys have conquered the air.
Honestly, I would feel bad for any coyote that gets into a pen with one of those things.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it for the coyote who's like, I'm brave enough to come down from the hill now. Those are cows. I'm okay with that. Those are sheep. Mental note there.
Yeah,
What
they
the fuck
gotta
is
eat them.
that? A herd of emu.
That is a bird large enough to fucking rip you in half, dude.
Mm.
And I've seen people cuddle with those fuckers online.
That thing is a fucking dinosaur.
But anyway, Reesh, speaking of dinosaurs, it is your turn. You see the back half of this imaginary bird. It looks real to you, but you've seen Affix's blade pass through it, so. What you doing?
Guess I'll go ahead and try and detect magic around the room. Doesn't seem to be a door, so probably hidden by illusion. Either that or it's under the giant rainbow chicken.
This detects as magic, yes. And since we're not actually in combat time, we can just say you take the time to cast and check. It is definitely an illusion spell. But that's the only magic you detect in the room.
So who wants to check under the sparkle turkey?
I think we should.
You guys can act out of initiative right now, obviously.
Yeah. So what are we doing? We each grab a corner and just lift it, or
He's not there
Sure.
yet. But go ahead and try.
So I assume there's stairs that it's hiding.
Could be.
Should we take a round of looking around to see if we could find any sort of mechanism to automatically reveal whatever it's hiding?
Good idea. Manuel will gaze about the room for a mechanism.
So this is appropriate. I'll just use Emmanuel's because it's the funniest.
Sure.
Emmanuel, you're looking around the room and you're trying to like look for hidden compartments and stuff, but you're just too fascinated on the fact that like the walls are surrounding you with mirrors, and you just can't help but like check yourself out. You're very pompous. You're like, oh, is my hair out of place? And you're just kind of wandering the facility before you get to right here, and you're like checking yourself, like fixing part of your hair, kind of like tucking in your your cloth in your armor.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to rework that. There's no fixing a part of my hair. There's looking, noticing that the hair is perfect, checking the teeth, seeing that from both sides it's perfect.
Emmanuel, you have to work to be as perfect as you are. Remember, you can't just.
This is true.
You can't just
Sometimes
willy-nilly
we have a bad hair day.
Yeah, so you have to make sure you're not having one of those today. And you kind of lean in and you're kind of fixing your hair, and you put your hand near the mirror and kind of get a good angle, and your body slides forward as the entire wall section kind of slides out, and you tumble forward. And as it reveals a sliding door, and reveals this room as the wall just kind of slides open like a trick bookshelf.
Cup, I need you to read the line.
His favorite room, and y'all may need to drag him out of here. Emmanuel Depardieu. This is my favorite room in the Rune Forge, and room ever in any forge. Emmanuel pops back up, is confused as to where he went, and checks his hair. Hair's still perfect.
I'm Emmanuel Depardieu.
And this was not actually
the Rune Forge.
So yeah, you all can see him to go through this. It is not a magical door. This door just is like a sliding wall that spins in place with a central pole. So it is technically open, kind of like this right now.
Gotcha. Classic rotating wall.
Yeah. But yeah, inside, Emmanuel, you see this room there's bookshelves full of tomes and scrolls that line what is a relatively cozy chamber. You see a reading table with several matching chairs. Sits upon a thick rug in its center. A peacock made of gold sits upon the table, holding a single stick of incense, cleverly positioned in the tail feathers. A heavy wooden door exits the wall to the south there. Technically, that's the northwest, but I'm just saying south because it's positioned on the map.
Sure. Is the incense burning?
It is not. You do see a figure lying slumped in the chair in the far corner. Over in this chair here, that matches the description of the men you fought. He lies slumped in the chair in the far corner, the body of a man wearing rich robes and a cloak made of peacock feathers. You see an elegant mirror clutched in his hand, and a book and quill sit on the table before him.
Shit, it's like the end. The clock advanced while we had the system off. And he died of old age.
Emmanuel shouts back, I found a book tomb.
Yeah, you don't have to act in initiative right now because there's nothing too important that you have to act initiative. So you guys can feel free to move around at the moment.
Emmanuel calls, I found a book tomb. Suddenly an island crashes through the ceiling.
We talked about this, Emmanuel. You can't just keep calling.
I'm sorry. I heard death and books.
No, you see, it wouldn't be a whole island crashing. You would just see a tile come off the ceiling, and a face just comes out of it. Did I hear books?
Did I hear book and tomb?
But yeah, the room itself is relatively unadorned, other than just like it looks like a study / meditation room.
Vix would detect evil on the incense burner and ask Rish to cast detect magic on it just to see if it's anything
Dankest
special.
snare.
So there is no evil. You do detect several things of magic. Most of them on the man. So everyone can give me a general perception of the room, but the magic items you find are a Ring of Wizardry 2, a Cape of the Mountback, and a neutral-aligned Robe of the Archmagi. So I'll just type that in there so you can see what those are.
While they're doing
Anything
that, actually.
magical about the peacock thing, or is that
No,
just-
I was going to get to that after with the
Okay.
perceptions and stuff, but those are the magical items you find in the chamber.
okay?
All on this obviously dead man.
I'm going to quickly grab a drink while I'll be right back.
No worries.
I'm gonna take a bio too.
Go ahead. Everyone go ahead and take 5 minutes real quick. I'm going to go ahead and top off my water then.
Well, even if it's only a 2, that ring doubles my spell slots for a spell level.
Yeah, I assume, being the wizard, the Ring of Wizardry would go to you.
Yeah, I was looking up how nice it was, and yes, 2 is where a lot of our buffs are. Yeah, 3 is where the good ones start, but there's some good 2s. Twos are mostly personal buffs. 3's where I get haste, but still not bad. Not bad. The mountebank is a once a day dimensional door on command.
Yeah, just look that up. Fun. Maybe like Emmanuel, if he ever wants to get into the position with archery. I don't know.
I could get Vix into combat super quick, but same could be said about Gork. Like, Vix has the advantage of flying, so from
Yeah,
mobility is not too bad.
I do like to use charges to get some wind up sometimes, though, so it's not always the best.
I'd say Pledrum to get him out of situations.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. It is thoroughly dramatic, it says.
It is a command, so it does take a standard to use, though.
Oh yeah, so that's very much not Gork's thing then. I have to be very hyper aware of my action economy.
What are you guys talking about?
The cape.
Can't even remember what Cape of the Mountback does.
Teleport.
Gotcha.
Mention door.
Still nice.
Still definitely a runaway tactic. So Emmanuel would, no one else wants it. Just for his character, it would fit. But it seems like overkill because I have a spell that can turn me into a raven and I can fly away.
The robe is going to be nice to have. Not game-breakingly, but it'll help against spell resistance at the very least.
And it does give you some minor spell resistance yourself, so.
Oh, whenever you guys want to kick down this door.
Well, you're still examining this room, so.
Yeah. Gork isn't the intellectual thinky examiner type.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, looking through this room, I'll save you the appraise rolls because Reach's appraise is high enough to determine the golden peacock is it's just made of gold. It's a decorative piece, probably worth about 800 gold. You see a collection of books in this room that are all based on like Thessalonian lore. You see a spell book that sits on a shelf to Emmanuel South. I will just tell you, Rish, most of the spells you would already have, but I will say instead of customizing what he would have, I will let you choose 3 6th level illusion spells to add to your spell book. I will just let you choose the 3 that he would have had.
Yeah, that is a
Very nice.
school that was missing from what's his ass's book.
Because if you were looking for, if you're interested in illusion magic, he has all illusion spells of 4th level and lower. As far as 5th level illusion, I think the only one he has that you wouldn't have is Shadow Evocation. So if you don't have that one, you can have that one too. Surprisingly, for an illusion mage, he doesn't have many illusion spells on higher levels.
Oh yeah, his clones came out with a lot of evocation at us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's better than trying to fend off 6 phantasmal killers, but
Well,
Don't tempt me with a good time.
That's always the trick from the game master's perspective.
I was about to
is
say,
that-
thank God it's too late now for Richard to work that in.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's always so tricky from the game master's perspective because there is a lot of incredibly awesome mindfuckery you can do with illusions and illusions within illusions. But if you do it too much, then players start calling foul,
Mm-hmm.
which is a shame because it's fun to be that fucky.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, there's about there's a lot of books here that are all kind of pertain to Thessalonian lore. If you were to take them all, it'd probably be about 200 pounds of books, but could probably net you maybe a couple thousand gold. But they're interesting regardless.
Oh, this is going straight into Lucillus, wherever she's storing all this shit. I believe she's still got a bag of holding.
Yep. Let's see. I'm looking up other stuff. Let's see. And there is a book in his lap that looks like an extensive journal written in Thassalon. Though it is kind of encoded, which will take somebody a day of time and a linguistics check to pass to be able to read it. Actually, let me.
Don't we have the helmet Affixa?
Also,
helmet?
Wait, is that the helmet that comprehends languages, or was that Way of the Wicked?
I think that was Way of the Wicked.
Yeah.
Oh my
Also, there's a
God!
helmet that can do that in the dwarf game, I think.
That the dwarf can the talking helmet the dwarf can only do it for certain ones. But I
All right, please forgive me. I was remembering past lives.
I think Affixa's got something that'll let her take a 20 for one. I still take a day, I know, but she could take a 20 on it.
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta.
Well, I mean, with Lucilla and stuff, if you want to do that natural 20 thing, you can do quickly. I'll say that you could speed read this instead of having to take the day.
I think it's only on knowledge checks now that I look at it. I think I get a bonus to translate it, but let me double check.
Like a day seems kind of like tedious. If you guys wanted to take the time and stay here for a few hours, I would say Lucilla's pretty good at Thessalonian. Like she's had it since level 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that she has a good grasp on it and can take less time.
Yeah, so I take a 20 on any knowledge check once per day. Magic lore, decipher scrolls to half his bard level. May take a 10. A spellcraft. Nope, doesn't look like I have anything specific. For
so
this.
it would still take some time, but if you wanted to do it now or take it with you for later.
So at some point.
I mean,
but it does seem to be like his personal journal, so you're not sure how much it'll be useful, but it is something.
Yeah.
It seems to be more than the norm in this room.
So we'll take it, but definitely door number 2 over here is probably taking priority.
Easy enough to do. Who's going to go open it? I'm going to keep you guys out of initiative turn right now. So,
has it been less than 12 minutes since we entered this room? Or entered?
I'll say you have like a couple minutes left.
Okay, so I just wanted to see how long I have Greater Angelic.
Yeah.
All right, Fix will go ahead and open the door once everybody gives her the thumbs up.
Opening it up,
Rish and Lucilla just stuffing books in a bag.
Yep.
you see a very fine carpet that gives way into, from the distance, you can see a smoldering pile of burnt everything.
Well, I hope there's not books in there. I don't think Rish could survive it. All right, Vix will move up and
You see a door
Probably
right
check-
where you're standing
yeah,
there.
probably check open this door.
Okay. Opening this one up, you see that the room is fairly empty, except for a grisly heap of what looks like identical-looking bodies stacked against the wall in a rather well-organized heap. You see them in all manners of ages that kind of just been organized by age.
Okay. I guess worth checking for items, but you said we're out of turn order?
Yeah.
Right. Well, if there's still...
And
full
when I
of
say that there's a lot of
identical bodies.
clones, when I say there's a lot of clones in here, like, because they're obviously bodies of the same guy, there's probably pushing almost to the triple digits in this room, just kind of stacked neatly and organized.
And not decomposing?
That is the thing about this Runeforge that you found out, is things don't really decompose here unless something's really gone wrong with the magic.
All right, then Vix will peek around the corner here.
So yeah, going into this room itself, you can tell this was once a fine library that held large plethora of books. But the books, as well as the bookshelves that once held them, have been largely destroyed by the fire and the force. The devastation seems relatively complete, although it's possible something may survive under all the ruin. You're not sure. You see a what once was a nice reading area over here, but has also been ruined. You see a doorway heading down this direction, as well as a doorway here.
She'll check this door.
Where? Another room full of bodies.
Oh, older or newer than the other room?
Various ages, though this one seems to have slightly older, like on average.
I mean, waste not, want not, I suppose.
We're eating something?
What was that?
What?
I was just musing over all the identical dead bodies and how odd it is.
Hey, Gork, there's
Right.
a buffet in there.
I was thinking the same thing.
Better get to it before her dose does.
Yeah, you're all welcome to
Biscuits?
continue down.
Biscuits?
No turn order right now.
You gonna eat that?
Two bears go into the room, the door closes, and you try best not to think about what's happened. So we're just cool with the fact that two of the people we know just eat humans, right?
Well, I mean, two of the bears I know do.
It's official. This adventuring party's ready
I'm
to
not
have a
supposed to
vampire
be eating
friend.
more this whole time.
Just, hey, remember book 2 when ghouls were the enemy and cannibalism was icky?
Well, technically, it's not cannibalism.
I mean, I'm a werebear. I'm riding the line.
Yeah,
A werebear, but you're also a
it's
a
definitely a
2-year-old
little bit-
person. Your Honor, I would like to make the argument that my client was 0% human at the time of the incident.
Oh no, Gork caught ghoul fever. Maybe we won't notice the difference.
Oh shit, he caught cool fever.
Ghoul fever.
No. Don't lick the blood.
He just suddenly gets a skateboard and a backward baseball cap.
And a pair of sunglasses.
Symptoms include being chill as fuck.
Anyone doing anything in the burnt out library? I know
Come
Rish
on down
and,
with us, Rish.
I'll take
Reach
a
and
big
still are
old
still-
sniff to see how recently this was.
We're out of turn order, so we're just bopping down.
Yeah, you guys are just living the bop life. Sniffing around. It smells ashy. It smells older, but it's hard to determine how old.
You got any lotion? This shit's ashy for hell.
You want to check for magic, because that might survive a mundane fire.
Yeah, might as well.
You do ping a single book in the midst of the destruction. This one actually does require you to make a spellcraft for me, though.
Does it really smell like fire down here?
Yes. Like, smells like old ash. You found a tome of leadership and influence +2. By spending 48 hours reading this book, you can increase your charisma score by +2.
Obviously,
Boom.
let's give it to Gork.
It'd definitely work on him.
No, that goes to the bard.
I was going to say
Not the
Bard or
paladin?
Fixa.
Or the paladin?
I mean, it can always roll off if you can't really decide.
Or you could have the bears wrestle for it.
Which, by the way, I think I've mentioned it before, but if there's ever an issue where like two people really want an item and they can't decide who wants it, you can essentially both roll d20s, and whoever gets the higher is in character the one who won the argument. So that way you don't have to fight over it too much.
I mean,
Makes
I thought
sense.
we were going to do like World of Warcraft and have need or greed and always pick need even if you don't need it.
Yeah, whoever.
I mean, most people do that anyway.
That's the joke. When
Oh, I'm talking about
brief,
group.
my brief time playing World of Warcraft, I always would actually look at the item and put need or greed, and I would always put just greed because I was usually fine, and that's why I never got anything because everyone else was putting need.
There was a D&D online game that right when it came out was good about how it sorted the treasure loot, because if it applied to your class, you got a little bit more priority. You could want it or leave it and all that kind of stuff. And it'd do a number generator plus like bonuses if your class needed it, if you didn't have it already, all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Not like necessary with this group because we're usually pretty good at talking stuff out.
Yeah, so I absolutely need that tone.
Fixer, are you opening that final door?
Yeah. Yeah, we could discuss the tome later.
Okay, so I will give you the flavor text before I reveal. As you enter this room, it is a long room that only contains 3 plain items of furniture: a large bed strewn with silk ropes, a writing desk, and a freestanding armoire. Though the more distinguished part is as you step in, you hear 4 voices speak in a very sultry voice of "Welcome home, master." As you see 4 clones of the succubus you met in the Lustwing.
I mean, if you're gonna use the clone spell for anything, the simulacrum spell for anything, I suppose.
And they all begin to just approach you all. Whoever comes in, they begin to massage your shoulders.
Nope.
If they touch me, I will literally kill them.
And one wouldn't touch you, and you can literally kill them, and the other 3 will not bat an eye.
I just decapitated instantly.
It just clumps in a heap and eventually begins to just bleed out and lay there. No cry outs or anything.
Fix would tell them to stop and retreat back to the corner.
So on my genitalia.
What is the Fixer doing?
Tell them to stop and go back to the corner they came from.
They go back. The 3 that are remaining go back onto the bed and just sit there.
Wait, I thought Pletrum was getting a BJ in the corner over there. I heard something about his genitalia.
I was making a joke about gore. Come on.
Okay, sorry.
But the question is how does the clone taste?
It's like the human equivalent of eating paper.
Interesting.
But you
just see Gork take down, pull an arm off the corpse, and take a teeny little nibble. Strange. It's a desaturated flavor from normal man flesh.
It's probably magical creation.
Here, take. Take a nibble, and I hold it up to Rich.
He's going to go to waste otherwise.
She's going to
I gotta
preoccupy
say, I
herself by
love this
looking
group
in the
dynamic.
armoire.
Oh, so much wrong in that room.
Jesus, this thing can give you are mostly transferred through the blood.
Unless it's got silver in its blood, I'm fine.
I don't know if silver is involved in HPV, but
Dwarves have high disease immunity, don't you know? Besides, I spend all my time outside. And...
I half dwarf, half bear, bitch.
Also, let's be out of character. Let's be clear here. Gork lived in the woods without hygiene, eating nothing but raw meat off the ground. If there was something, he would have caught it by now.
He is
Tell me
patient.
if
He is
anything
patient
happens.
0 for coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Patient 0 for fucking bear virus or whatever the fuck.
Bear flu.
The bear flu. That'll take the fucking world of glory by storm.
Pretty sure it's just Giardia.
So am I killing the rest of them, or...
We could just send them off to be with the other demoness style people, I guess.
Yeah, listen, I don't completely understand everything that's going on here in Vixa, but I'm willing to wager that's not going to go down very well.
Okay.
Weren't you talking to me once about someone having a bunch of drawings of you in their basement?
Yeah, but that's
and
why.
I just kind of vaguely gesture to this, like,
And Fix would say, yeah, and that's why I'm glad that I was the one to find them and claim them all and destroy them where I knew that they were no longer going to be a problem.
Have y'all destroyed those yet?
Yes.
but if someone had just...
You just hear him in the corner. Yes, please destroy me.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
They're very programmed for a certain act, and you
Man.
know.
Pledrum,
Fantasy
will you
Jesus
please shut
save
the
us.
door?
Fantasy Jesus, take the wheel.
He was just he's a very prominent hero of myth and legend, Jesus.
All right, let
See what
Pledrum
he's
go
got
over
on
there and
his
take
desk
care of
and-
this.
in his armoire.
Mhm.
So we know what's in the boudoir.
There are very fine clothes. You see about 3 different peacock cloaks, but there isn't really much in here of value. He was very plain in terms of the rest of the chambers.
And the cloaks are pretty, though. I'll take one. As she
Don't tempt
starts,
me. I'm not coming in there.
starts putting it in her Pathfinder pouch. Like I said, Fix will just go ahead and say, you could do whatever you want. I'll just direct them there, and you could just do whatever. But otherwise, I'm going to send them to where the original can decide their fate.
Balls of lust.
And Fix will say, seek out, what was it, Queen something? What'd you refer to herself as?
Mistress Delavine.
Seek out Mistress Delavine in the halls of lust.
They kind of just look at each other confused and look back at you expectantly, but don't really do anything.
That's what I was afraid of. All right, well, I tried. Go into the main hall there.
Yeah, they would just go to the main hall.
Okay. I guess
Why are they
confused.
coming out here?
Yeah, they just come out. By the way, they're completely nude, and they're just walking by. the main
I
hall.
assumed.
Yeah.
Manuel covers his eyes.
Yeah,
Fix will.
You're fairly certain you've cased this joint as it is.
All right. And I guess with that, she would, head back to the main room, directing the copies along the way, and once they're in the main room, direct them to enter that and seek out.
Delavine.
Yeah.
That'd be
They
a
would
good idea.
follow instructions.
That'd be
You
a good
ladies
idea.
wouldn't happen to know a thing or two about crafting mythical arms and armor.
They kind of just look at you confused before they make some innuendos about arms. I can't think of
Might
anything. So.
Good idea to set up in this back room if we need to camp again.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
clever and unexpected of an innuendo, is all we know.
Is there
You
nothing
really thought-
interesting on the desk?
There's
Didn't
nothing
think
in
an
his
arm
room
could
was
do that.
anything interesting.
Okay.
It looks like he kept most of his possessions in other chambers.
Gotcha.
Take time to try and decipher his notes.
Yep.
Said it would
And-
take a linguistics.
Nerd Squad, activate.
And at this point, Vix would be curious about the book of inspiring leadership. I mean,
Yeah, so it's up to you and Michael to decide who gets to use that.
Wow. I got a 3 for Lucilla there. Damn.
it would certainly help me. You know,
I got a
Uh,
7.
give me a little bit more ability to heal and make my punches a little bit more powerful. But you know, I'm open to talking it out. And if you want to roll off, we could roll off.
What's up for the leadership?
Yeah, for the
Have it.
Permanent +2 to charisma.
Yeah. I appreciate that because that helps out quite a bit.
Yeah, so it takes
Paladin.
48 hours to read. So you could spend the 8 hours they're going to take to decipher this
Yeah.
book. If you want to take 8 off of that for you.
Okay, I could do that.
The nice thing about this Runeforge, by the way, is since you don't have to sleep to recover during your long rests, you could technically read this, and it's not going to take any extra effort from your part. So you can read during your rests while you're in the Runeforge. So that's nice.
All right, so I denoted I have 8 hours of the 48 from the book.
And yeah, as you're deciphering this journal, the bulk of it catalogs the man here named Vrexaries, his studies on the development of an improved version of clone that effectively granted him immortality. The drawback of doing this was every time he switched bodies, he lost a portion of his own knowledge and experience. Basically, forced himself to relearn a lot of what he learned during each incarnation. Oh, excuse me. At several points in the book, he also speaks of how with each new clone, the issue he had in life in his later years of dementia began to manifest a little bit sooner with each body. And with each new body, his lifespan effectively shrunk. It seems obvious that the dementia finally struck soon enough to prevent him from creating a new clone, and thus finally did claim him. Using this book, a wizard could rebuild the version of his improved clone, but the research for creating this spell would be quite time-consuming and probably consume most normal people's lifetime to gather the necessary resources. But the journal with this information alone would probably be worth a good 30,000 gold.
Or more to a certain ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might want to think before about who we want to sell this to if we sell.
Yeah. Immortality for sale. Who
Yeah.
wants
I was going to
immortality?
say, in the flavor text,
for the dark tome.
in the flavor text, it says if manner and word of this contents were to spread, all manner of unscrupulous wizards would doubtless try to do more would try to claim this by more violent means.
Mhm.
It is a very sought after idea. Though things that are going to pertain to you a little bit are two excerpts close to the end of the journal. Let me see. Yep, I will reveal the handout. Second. There's a couple handouts here, so.
Yeah, so this guy in a black robe came up to me today, and he said he wanted to buy that those instructions for making that clone. You'll never believe how much he offered me. 500 gold pieces. Of course, I gave it to him right away.
But yes, if we would like to have a dramatic reading from Kenneth, as per tradition.
Do you know how much flint and steel I can buy with 500 gold pieces?
I'll never be without fire again. Oh, wait, I know the spark cantrip. Shit. The Runeforge portal awoke. I first took this as a sign that Runelord Zandergul had risen. When I arrived at the pool to investigate, it seemed the others had come to the same conclusion. The foolish wardens of envy thought to disrupt the recrudescence. That's a word. And with the aid of Azvan, Ordecan, Athroxis, and the lovely creature Delavine, we were able to defeat them utterly. Their abjurant halls lie in ruins. Our treaty was short-lived, though. Azvan absconded with the bodies and that treacherous wretch. Athroxis nearly burned me to death before I made it back here. I was mistaken. Runelord Zandergul still summons. It is the monster Karzog who quickens and nears rebirth. Damnation. He must not be allowed to precede Zandergul into the world. For he would rebuild Thassalon in his own inferior image, a testament to his own greed rather than one of pride in the work. He must be delayed or defeated. I've managed to escape this place to a certain extent. By astral projection, I can explore what the world outside has become. It is a brutish place, yet it pleases me to see Thassalon's mark still endures in the shape of our monuments. Still, the wilderness of the world vexes me. Gone is the empire I knew. Karzog's city of Zinshalas is now hidden high in the mountains, and when I finally discovered it, I found the spires where his body is hidden to be inaccessible, warded against astral travelers by the occlusion field around the peak of Mar Massif. As long as his rune well is active, I fear even a physical approach would be impossibly deadly. I must determine a way to pierce these wardings and to send an agent in my place. No need to risk my own life before my next clone is ready. Sometime later, I've taken steps toward an alliance with Devilheen. She may be able to escape this place, for she was not of the original blood. At least she can call upon agents from outside, and perhaps through them we can secure servants in the outer world. She seems uninterested in Shorshin's return. All the better for Zandergul, that. The Runeforge pool is the key. As I suspected, the occlusion field around Karzog's fortress in Zinshalas has a flaw. His lack of knowledge of the intricacies of Shorshin's and my own Lord Zandergul's power have left an opening. My agents must use components infused with our Lord's virtues, extract the latent magic within these components, and then anoint their chosen weapon with this raw power. The Runeforged pool seems to have enough reserves to enhance no more than half a dozen or so Runeforged weapons, but those enhanced with enchantment and illusion magic will be the most potent against Karzog's defenses. They may even be pivotal to his defeat. For my own part, fragments of any of the mirrors in the Peacock Hall should suffice for a component. Delvaheen's equipment should suffice for enchantment, although one might be wise to cleanse them before they are handled. The search for an agent goes poorly. Delvaheen seems more interested in her own lusts than aiding me. Worse, the lapses and fevers are increasing. I fear that I will be forced to see Karzog myself, in which event I will need to use the Master Circle. The Master Circle I built into the Halls of Wrath to escape this place. Yet first I must set aside my work on delaying Karzog's return and turn back to the final development of my 205th clone. I only hope that to have time to finish before the dementia takes hold. ... Mm-hmm. And then he was ellipsied.
And he wrote,
But it was Delvaheen is very upright on her honesty. It is information you would need to craft these weapons of to combat Karzog. These runic weapons to combat Karzog. Sorry, my brain kind of froze there for a second.
yeah, no worries.
Man, people really don't like to die, huh? What is this, like the sixth guy we've met with a futile attempt at immortality?
I mean, this is Gork speaking. As someone who's died twice now, I mean, honestly, I don't get to what the problem is. It's kind of boring, but view's nice.
But we also died in battle. These people lived like 80 years, and we're like, no, give me more.
That's always the joke for me, out of character, about when in the fantasy world you can physically go to the afterlife. Is for me, death becomes a lot less terrifying when it's all like, what, you mean the waiting line that then takes me to Nirvana? Yeah. I paid that wizard to help me visit my grandparents every year. Well, shall I punch a mirror and we're good to go?
Yeah, might as well collect that while we're here. I think we've got to revisit Lust, get their material, but we also want to check out the last hall. Or do we have two more?
Gluttony.
You have Gluttony and Sloth, I believe, that you haven't explored, and you also need to go back to the Succubus chamber to get a item if you wish to craft weapons that you found out about the information for.
Either way, I headbutt the wall and collect some mirror shards.
Yep. Easy enough to do.
Bears are very proficient headbutters.
I will go ahead and transfer you back to the Rune Force Center.
Yeah, Fix will say, well, we gotta go to the halls anyways, so we'll take the copies of her along with.
Alright, but she's not gonna be happy to see me.
I mean, we don't all have to go.
Stay
Seems
here.
like we're on pretty good terms.
In fact, I might stay here to place made head hurt.
I'll go then. If anybody else wants to join. Emmanuel?
Yes, Emmanuel, are you going to the Lust Wing?
Are you going by yourself?
I'm seeing if anybody wants to come with.
I'm going. She'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I'll go. If all of you are going, I'm not staying
One
right
thing
here.
I've learned about two legs since I started adventuring with all of you is that if you ask them to give up their things, they try to kill you about it.
Yeah, that's pretty on point.
You make your way back to the Wings of Lust.
Do we want to double check some protection from evil, just in case?
That's a fair point. I don't think I have it prepared, but I think Figus could cast it a few times.
Wand.
Yeah, Lucille's got a wand for it.
And I got it prepared.
Yeah, I got 18
It
charges.
should.
Oh, if the community got community, now double take.
Yeah, it's still on me. A few minutes each.
We know what we're doing. We're just walking right in.
Yep.
You walk in, and they recognize you. They see the three clones of their mother as the ones that are flopping around still. You see them all kind of like they lose a couple inches of height as they almost fall from their flying positions. When they see that, and you see them kind of just stared at them for a few seconds before landing, be like, Mother will see you now. We will take care of them. As you make your way to the tent, you begin to hear the sounds of nails digging into flesh and pulling of skin as they are very much being shredded alive.
Yep.
Told you.
I mean, like I said, it was her choice to do so. It was her right. And
as you get in, the one of the giants looks down and he's like, Mistress told me the bear stays with us. Looks at the bear. I mean the hairy one.
Which one?
Yeah, when he looks back, I just turn back into a dwarf.
Then he like sees that, he's like, oh, that one. And he points to the only actual bear left.
Checkmate.
Are you okay with this, though?
Dun, 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 dun.
Are you okay staying here?
You want to try a bit more of a diplomatic approach this time around?
I guess I could stay as long as you give me some biscuits when we leave. I haven't
Oh,
really
got
been
these.
craving them lately. It's very weird. I'm usually a lot hungrier than I am.
Yeah, you don't want to just eat to occupy time, I've found.
Well,
So,
Fisher, we just had an entire room filled with just bodies available. Like, the she lizard and I took some nibbles.
Yeah, but they weren't cooked.
Oh my god.
he also likes paprika.
The juices give it flavor.
Have you not had cooked juices? They're so much better.
Gork is like, what's a paprika?
And as a reminder, Gork's out of the conversation for your guys' perspective is all. Yeah,
Yeah, he looks over you like, Gork, have you not had bacon yet?
yes, I have. It's almost
Good
same
bacon?
satisfaction.
Cooked bacon?
Is it different than the non-cooked stuff?
He just looks over at Emmanuel.
Yes.
When we get back,
They burn-
he needs to eat cooked bacon.
I mean,
Emmanuel-
they ate a pig's
Emmanuel
ass.
just
What more
nod.
do you need?
Yeah,
Emmanuel nods
yeah, Gork, I don't
knowingly.
get it either. It's this weird thing where they burn this thin strip of meat and then say it tastes good. I don't
But yes,
like crispy.
you're talking about bacon to a bear as you
Look,
walk into the
bacon is
chamber.
good, but pork belly fat is disgusting.
Vix is just kind of pinching the bridge of her nose, realizing just
The
how-
woman in the succubus in the chamber does not look happy as she sees you. I was like, "Do you mind explaining why you came in with 3 copies of me before
That's
I get
what I
very
said.
upset?"
I said it would upset you.
You know,
to-
I'd be prone to disagree with him on principle, but he is right. This is very upsetting.
He did
I-
actually say he was coming because he knew you would be upset that we were sending these back.
No, it was. I've come across one of my own that made images of unsavory depictions of myself, and that was.
Okay, those were images, I think.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. But I
And
felt
how
it
wet were
was
they?
something that you,
Who? She's like, I need context. Who the hell made those?
the guy from the halls of, was it
The
Pride?
clone master over there in the Pride Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Vexares.
Hmm.
Is he still alive? Because if he is, I'm going to go kill him.
Nope.
No, he
All,
did.
him and all of his clones are dead.
Oh,
Pretty sure.
well, I feel a little bit better now.
They even want to talk to us.
Well, I guess no harm done as long as you brought him here to be destroyed. I mean,
Mhm.
my girls haven't had a good meal in a while. Well,
Apparently, they are less than savory.
Yeah,
Well.
kind of a flat taste.
I mean, when you've had the best, the rest just don't count. So,
Amen. Wait, what are we talking about? Food, right?
thanks.
Mountain bison.
So
That's the
did you just
best
come here
meat.
to deliver these clones of me, or did you come here for any other reason? I gotta say, this is not a good start of a conversation.
I am sorry. My intent was to give you closure, I guess, but alas,
You could just killed them and told me that they were there.
that's fair. I do apologize.
There were 4 of them.
You kind of just went to my stalker's house, found all the pictures he took of me, and then put them in my mailbox.
Even worse, you put them on the internet.
Wait. There was she's like, wait. There's 4 of them. Where's the other one?
Killed
On
it.
the internet.
Destroyed.
Wait, you killed it?
Yep.
You know, I'm having second thoughts. I'm really conflicted about this bear man here. I hate him, but at the same time, I'm starting to warm up to him.
I crossed my arms, touched me without consent.
Seem to be for a weapon we need to kill Karzog is item infused with lust. Stalker boy, think one of your items would suffice.
Oh, okay. So what are you gonna give me for it? The offer still stands if one of you want to come to the back room with me for a couple hours. I'll reward you for that, or jewels, jewelry. Any kind of swag I'm cool with.
What happens in the back room?
I mean, I can show you if you want to spend a couple hours back there.
Manuel, grab him.
She like as you pull him away, she just looks at you like, "You look like you could stand a thrashing. What about you?"
No, we've been over this. Not interested, lady.
She's their
One
own.
of the things listed as a bunch is several decorative boxes of jewelry from the Dragon Sword, although that's lumped in with the tapestries and furniture.
What about
Their
this
value.
fucking golden peacock we got from the creepy guy's study? It was next to his corpse.
Fix would frown, but then hold it out and.
I don't think this is as much of a good idea as you guys are thinking it is.
Yeah, that thing isn't worth that much. I think I need a little bit more to wet my whistle to part with one of my toys.
All right, listen, but here's your stalker's wallet.
Yeah, she basically just wants jewelry or magical shit.
Or we
Or
could let her
just-
have
I think his bones are still there. The marrow might be good.
Emmanuel's V card. We'll just have to deal with the negative levels afterwards.
No, there's jewelry.
And the
There's
trauma.
Jewelry. No, there's jewelry. I'm curious, but no.
Actually,
I can
you know
cast
what?
restoration if we need to.
I'm done with this. I'm done with dealing with this. What do you mean we have to give you something?
Well, I mean, you're out wanting something of mine. It's only fair that you give me something of equal value.
You know what happened to everyone who's been in every other room we've been in? Not around anymore, lady. Us not bashing your head in is what we're giving you, okay? And I'm gonna roll the
Oh,
I would say that's
That sounds more
intimidate.
intimidate.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's-
I'll
yeah.
do a support
I said
intimidate.
diplomacy
Yeah.
and intimidate.
yeah.
this went a different direction very quickly.
Yeah, we brought the
Tired of this, but we're not giving her anything. I don't,
Pledge-
I'm just crossing my arms.
I had to
Here's your
reload
to
my
re-roll.
fucking things fucked up.
Gork only mentioned the peacock because, once again, he does not give a shit about gold. So,
Yeah.
Michael, you
So if
rolled
someone's
a 2.
like-
See if you can re-roll.
so
Picture
if
six is
someone's
pretty.
like, I will give you the thing I want if you give me all the gold in your pocket, Gork would have been like, fuck it, sure, I don't care.
Yeah, as you intimidate, she looks
Yeah,
at you all. Do you want to reroll?
yeah, I want to reroll.
Go ahead.
And that 31 was the support.
So 34 total. You see her kind of shirk back in her chair a little bit. And then I need a will save from you, Pledrum.
Alright.
From evil?
Yeah, you do have that on there still. So it passes over if she feels that the magic not hit. She's like, oh dear, are we going to have a war?
I don't think that was the plan.
Still have
Rather
the
not.
penalty, right?
The people who have penalties here are Afixa, Pledrum,
Okay.
and Reesh.
And then Will. 23.
You don't actually have to roll a will because you have protection from evil up currently.
Okay.
So it passes up upon you without affecting you.
All right.
These are
I
the
don't
only people we haven't had to slaughter.
But get out of here. We've been here for days.
I've been here for centuries. If you want something of mine, you can pay for it. Otherwise, we will have a problem, sir.
Lucilla
As
speaks
you
up.
just see her crack a whiptail.
Lucilla sticks a little
God,
hand up.
She's
to
casting
interject.
summon manager.
Lucilla raises her little halfling hand. Quick question, just to clarify the situation, Lady Succubus. You don't. I'm collecting. You probably don't get along well with Karzog.
As much as I got along with anyone I never really saw in person. But on principle, I don't like him.
So let's run through a hypothetical. Let's say we do fight and you do manage to kill all of us, yeah? And we aren't able to gather up these rune weapon stuff that we're working on to try to stop him. What stops him from coming down here and killing you when you're the only thing left down here?
Roll me a diplomacy.
This used to be higher, but natural
shit.
20.
Maybe.
You do have a point. I do enjoy my comfortable life here. I don't have to, be at the whims of other demons or anyone who has summoned me. But I am still a businesswoman first. How about this? I'll sweeten the pot. You give me a certain amount of value in jewelry or magical items. I will give you what you need, and I will give you, and she pulls out this bag from underneath one of the cushions, and you clearly see it's a handy haversack. I will give you this and its contents in addition to the item you request. It's a fair trade. We both get what we want. You get out of here without a fight that you may or may not win. I may or may not win it. But either way, it'll be a lot less of a headache. And we're just going to all have a pleasant time.
Emmanuel's going to turn on Pledrum. This is absolutely a good deal. Are you okay?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm with Pledrum on this one. I mean,
Do you want to go? Let's go ask the opinion of some of the other people we've met along the way. Oh wait, we can't because they're all fucking dead, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
We
Can I
killed
do
them
a,
all.
this
that sounds like a you guys' problem. That seems like you don't know how to make friends.
I mean,
I don't
this
know
isn't
Steve's
even the
motive
first.
on,
This isn't even the first
I-
demon
I-
lady with wings that we've killed, or giants for that matter.
I don't know why we're particularly giving this succubus such leeway with our group.
She did take the time to talk to us, something that nobody else has.
Do I sense anything on what's his name? Pledrum?
He's not dominating. You have protection from that shit, so you're
Yeah.
good. I will say, if we wind up getting into combat, it's probably going to run out around that time because it only lasts for a couple minutes, and you've been talking for a while. But not happening out of combat, that's for sure.
Let's hand over some of the trinkets we have and get something really important from this lady and potentially have a future ally.
A future ally? It's a fucking succubus.
And we may be able to come back to get some trinkets that are very important in the future from her.
What a fucking STI?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's very fun. You should come to the back room for me, and I can teach you. Followed by a wink as she waits for you guys to answer. You do notice that there is some movement.
We've got
in
jewels. Do you want to wear the jewelry, Pledrum?
You do hear some movement in the tent otherwise, so you do know she mentally probably contacted her allies just in case shit does go down. But
Also,
she is currently waiting.
Oh, for the
Just
love of
hand over some of this silly jewelry. Gork, am I wrong? Do
Gork
we need
pulls
this
off his
jewelry?
Gork pulls off his ring of force fang and holds it up. This cover it.
Let me Google that to see how the value is.
Absorbs magic missiles. It's still a pretty good item.
There's a certain monetary value she's looking
Yeah,
for.
I'm sure.
Yeah, looking over it, she's like, I do actually like this ring. You know what? I take it back. I actually do like you.
Don't
And
push it.
with consent, if you ever want to come back and have a good time, I will be welcoming you for you.
You're too bald.
That is an expression I've never heard of. So that's new.
What did you call her? Too bold?
Too bald.
Too bald. He's a
He's a
dwarf
dwarf
and
and
a werebear. He likes them hairy.
She stands up. Her feet have naturally growing claw heels as she kind of saunters into a back room.
Very bad balance.
She kind of just drops the haversack into your arms, Gork, as she takes the ring from you. Returns with, if this was animated, you just see a thing she's holding pixelated in her hand. She shows it to you, like, I have this should suffice. You hear a little bit of vibration. She's like, oh, it's on, hold on a second. Slaps against her hand for a couple seconds before it turns off. Just places it in Emmanuel's hand. Here you go, sweetie.
Into the haversack.
But I believe our business is concluded now, and Most of you have been pleasant enough, but I would like you all to leave my domain if you have no more business.
Goodbye.
Frisch's already turning and leaving.
Yeah. Gork, you want me to carry that?
Place gives her a headache.
Why?
Because you usually throw things like that on the ground and stomp on them.
I just gave away a nice thing for that. I'm going to hold on to it for right now. We're walking outside.
For some reason.
I like how you're coming around to our way of thinking.
No,
What's
fuck you.
more
Ledrum,
important-
no. Punch Emmanuel in the stomach real quick.
God damn it! There's things inside of it. Don't eat the bag.
Then I turn and I just say, I was just getting tired of all you arguing, honestly.
Fix will turn to Gork and say, from now on, I will rely on you for wisdom and insight, because mine is sorely lacking.
Okay, well, if anyone asks, she's your ally, Emmanuel. I have nothing to fucking do with this.
So, I will say,
As we're leaving this hall, I'm saying to Emmanuel, man, first the giantess and now that lady. What is with you, Emmanuel? You got weird
Evil
tastes
person.
in females.
I will go ahead and give you the stuff that's in the handy haversack, as you imagine we'll sort through it later.
Oh, cool. Use condoms.
There are some of those, but these are the magical items that are in there.
Oh, and it's bad because this is
They're
the medieval
sheepskin,
ages.
too.
That means they're just sheep intestine. Oh,
And they've each got one thumbtack pressed directly in the middle.
Yeah, there's a Tome of Understanding +1, which is similar to the other book you have, but I believe this one's for either intelligence or wisdom. But I can't remember which one.
probably
I'm
intelligence.
just googling it real quick.
If it is for wisdom, I will make an argument for that.
This one's a wisdom one. It's a
because,
+1 to wisdom.
Wisdom does increase my AC. So
And if you're on an odd number, that'd be perfect.
I am. Well, it's a +1, so no, I'm at 18 wisdom. So if someone else is on an odd number, then maybe they're better.
I'm even.
Yeah, I think
I
most people
found
are
it.
even for wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
we're at that level 14. We're 14 and 16. You kind of make it out.
So 2 more levels, and you could even it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still probably going to be best for Gork, but it's up to you guys how you want to split it. But yeah, you
Yeah,
also
we always
find
sell
6
it for
potions of
20
Cure Moderate, a potion of Remove Disease, and a potion of Remove Paralysis.
So Gord didn't need the handy haversack.
Oh,
But now he has one, and he understands what it does, right?
I already have a dimensional pouch that shapeshifts with me.
Oh.
Yep, bought it last time we did shopping.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
So anyway, I put the handy haversack over Emmanuel's head.
Man, this is like the moment when your grandparents have a smartphone and know how to use it. The fuck just happened? Oh yeah, I've got that.
I really liked that ring, but it never got used once. So yeah, well,
No, I think it was smart. Not really sure what Pledrum was driving at there. Does he have some kind of bloodlust I don't know about?
no, he was just gotten tired of someone who we could have probably ripped in half trying to act all superior to us. I understood it, honestly.
Yeah, that leaves 2 places to check out.
Understand
No,
to ask for fucking anything but mercy.
no zombies come from Gluttony Wing.
Mhm.
But we don't know anything about Sloth Wing.
And then you still have the magical item for the craft, since I think you actually have all the components now to do so.
Oh,
So if you wanted, you could also craft them in this the chamber here, and then you're just mostly looking for the key to get out of here.
Have we done the necromancy wing?
You've not done the necromancy, and you have not done the conjuration one.
Oh, we've got an hour. Let's hit it.
I'm going to quickly use the bio again real quick.
Yeah, good call.
Damn, y'all. Got weak bladders tonight. But yeah, it's up to you guys what you want to do. You still have a couple wings. You have the crafting if you want to do that. You could rest and read those books for a couple days if you wanted.
I think we could probably clear out another wing before we rest, because we've been finding some decent magic stuff out of this stuff.
Mhm. Oh yeah, you've gotten quite a bit of swag after these last couple of wings. So I don't know why I keep saying swag. Apparently, I'm just swag-tastic tonight.
Yeah, like I said, we know what to expect from the necromancy wing. Conjuration wing probably summons a
It
lot
could
of
be
stuff.
anything. It could even summon a boat.
I know, right?
Also, I can't remember what he said, but I like Cope's comments that he made when you guys were resting before you went back to that wing. I can't remember what he said, but he said something that kind of really. I'd have to go back and listen to the recording, but it tied in really well to going back to that wing. Something to do with clones. I can't remember, but it was very amusing.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
I do have to compliment your role-playing improv skills there, Richard, with the whole succubus being like, okay, I don't like you. Why am I agreeing with what you're saying?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you were being fairly sensible.
Yeah. Gotta work that 18 wisdom score.
When Cope gets back, we can decide what you guys want to do.
Always lay a trap for the zomboy while we make some weapons.
Yeah, one of these supposedly had lizard folk.
I mean, conjuration probably.
Or the zombies. Who knows? I guess we'll find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon. Just let us know if you're back, Cope, because if you're muted, I would never know.
Mike was breathing heavily.
That is not to say unmute your mic while you are pissing.
Yes, that is frowned upon.
I wouldn't say frowned upon. I would more say laughed upon.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I
this
mean,
is
both.
going straight on YouTube, so that would be for posterity.
Back.
I don't
Yep.
think Pope's piss has made it onto the YouTube channel.
Not as of yet.
What?
Listen, Cope.
How have I not peed on YouTube yet?
Demonetized.
This feels like something I need to rectify.
Yep.
No, I feel like
The
Are
Pixel Buddy
you-
fan wiki will have like a player thing, or it'll be
Urethra
the information about each player, and it'll be a counter about how many times Cope has peed on a hot mic.
It's just going to be Cope and a little picture of a waterfall.
Just we each have to come up with our own icons, and Cope is just a yellow waterfall.
Has it never been on one of these?
Last time you did it was before we started recording.
Okay, well that's good to know then. So that joke doesn't exist, and there is nothing. There's no proof that I have ever peed, ever.
Ever.
I
Ever.
got it in $9.
No proof you tried to cool off a hot mic.
And,
Anyway,
Mike has never fallen asleep.
Just use the old World War I machine gunner's trick to cool down your PC.
Yeah, spray these barrels, man.
yeah, emphasis on the P apparently. Anyway,
Man,
Anyway,
that would
We're-
make an MLG tournament really effective.
so where do you guys want to go?
These cards
Or
are
two.
hot, baby.
You just have two guys off to the side chugging water.
Oh, I'm sorry for my snort there, but anyway.
Piss cooled systems. Anyway,
Sloth, gluttony, or try and get the hell out of there with our magic weapons.
Well, we're going to need to explore all of them. This is out of character to get out of here anyway. The question is if we want
Yeah,
to
we
make
don't
them.
know how to get out yet.
You still
If
need
you
the
want-
key to the portal. You found the portal, but it's sealed, and it's not like something you can just cast a spell upon to open it up.
Mhm.
You need to find the tuning fork that's attuned to this place.
So,
Or
if,
make one
Conjuration,
here.
baby.
so we could make the weapons in the center here, and those of us who can't help, like Gork, could lie in wait to see if the zombie comes by necromancy and jump it.
I say we just go attack the necromancy.
Or that.
It may have more things that can help us in making weapons.
I still have plenty of fight left in me as well.
I mean, I only expended a single hour of my lycanthrope shape, and I've got 14 of those, so I'm good to go.
So you're going to necromancy or conjuration then?
Sounds
Necromancy.
like necromancy.
Necromancy.
All right. Put up a new and his last
What was that?
gravity bow.
Okay.
Vix will toss up bless weapon.
I just
never
shifted
mind.
form.
He has a ton of that. Do we need any protection from? I can't think of any for energy wise for necromancy. Yes, no.
Anything that just helps us.
Unless you got something that keeps us from negative levels.
I have a racial ability that lets me heal from them really fast.
Then you should go first. That's not racist. That's racial.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I think it's a really high level spell to even
Death
have
ward.
resistance to them.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Shadow Hunter. +2 versus saves versus negative levels, and I recover 2 ability points per day with just normal rest.
Death Ward is a 4th level spell. Unfortunately, I only have one of those as a paladin, and I already used that for a greater angelic aspect.
Initiative
And
turn,
I think it's
order.
only single effect. So
This chamber, the walls here are still rather well built and everything, though a little bit darker in design. Hard to tell because you're still in the hallway, but yeah.
why am I in the front? Gork,
And I think we're
Because you're
just
the leader.
missing Pledrum
You
on the
should be up
initiative
here.
tracker.
All right,
Switch.
Cope. I've moved my token
Here,
to where
I'll
you're going to
switch
be.
with you, Emmanuel.
Okay.
and Lucilla can come back.
Still me where a fix is right now. There we
It
go.
was like
Yeah,
our
alright.
party was in reverse.
I just copy pasted, so.
Yeah.
Just that annoying beeping the entire hallway.
Michael, you're there? Oh, did we lose
What's
Michael?
up?
I need
What's
you to roll initiative.
Oh, sorry.
Bang bang.
Choo choo train.
All right.
Come on, baby, do your thing.
We have weird similarities in music taste. Cope. Not even
No,
taste, just knowledge.
I don't believe that.
Leading
There's
the
no
charge.
proof or evidence.
Leading the charge as usual is a fix in the initiative.
She'll move up and open the door.
You want to buy some Ghoul Scout cookies?
So as you enter this room, the ceiling of this circular dome chamber rises to a height of about 30 feet. The walls are decorated with 10 grinning skulls, each gripping what appears to be a bit of flesh in their teeth. And you see a wall that leads to a passageway, you see a door to the opposite side. I cannot speak today.
She'll move there, and then
Wait, don't keep moving because you're going to want to stop back here
okay.
because I haven't revealed everything yet
Okay.
because I am still in the GM layer. No, not dynamic layer. As there are
Okay.
creatures in here with you as you step in and you take notice, as what you thought were just standing statues. Mummies! As I'm going to roll their initiative now.
And a vampire, and a swamp creature, and Frankenstein.
And one for you, and one for you.
I mean, to be fair, this wing would have been perfect for a Halloween game anyway.
Yep.
It's necromancy themed.
It was a dark and spooky Halloween night.
Anyway, Affix, I think you still have your turn. You only did 15 feet of movement. So
Yeah. Up to the center here. And I'll use a channel positive energy to harm them.
Okay, let's see.
1, 2, 3, zombie.
They do have a bonus to their will save against channels.
All right.
So it'll be +4 to this roll. So I will start from the top 3 and then work my way clockwise. So will save. So that'll be 31.
Let me see what the...
One quick item: the buffs for the wing. And
Oh yeah,
ours.
buffs for the wing. So this one is. Let's see.
DC is 19.
Give me 1 second. I'm just double checking with the one.
Wait, no, it's 20. Let me see what the... Let me look up the math again.
Reese, you get a bonus here,
Yeah.
and who gets? I know one person got a penalty here. Gork, you have a penalty here.
Nards.
Sorry, DC is 23.
Okay, so +4. So the second one will fail. I'm just going to add it in the macro for +4 to this right now, instead of having to roll it. Add it after the fact, I mean. Okay. So 4 left. So 3 of them fail the will save.
Okay. So,
Or was it a fortitude save? I can't remember.
let me
Will
check.
save. For
Will save,
channeling?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll save.
Gotcha.
All right, and that will be this positive channeling. Yep. Okay. So this will be 8d6.
And they take half if they pass, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then it'll bring us to Risha's turn.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I will just hang back for them. Well, no. Let's be a little. Team, get up. No, not there. Let's see him.
Let me check something. Yeah.
6.
So Rish, as soon as you get to there and you see the mummies,
Mhm.
I need you to roll me a will save. It is a paralysis, mind affecting fear effect. So any bonuses you would get to it, but otherwise, I do need that.
And Will's my good save anyway.
You were able to resist the despair that was cast upon you from these mummies.
Yeah, that probably calls for dropping the burn. Do believe that'll hit everything in the room because, hey, selective fireballs.
Reflex saves. They do not have any bonus at this, so 1. 2. 3.
There you go. Found the nougat center of Tootsie Pop. Man, I saw that commercial on TV like just this weekend. They have never taken it off the air.
So
I mean-
the fire seems very effective against them. Almost vulnerable, you would say.
Good thing they're already bandaged.
They want their mummy right now.
They're like walking torches, waiting to be lit.
Okay. So that will end your turn. It'll bring us to the mummy's turn. One of them's just going to 5 foot up to Rish. A couple are going to 5 foot up to Afixa. Movement. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to go with Rish. Let's see. They don't have full attack. They only have one attack each, so it doesn't matter if they move or not. So 2 slams against Reach.
31 AC.
I don't know why that didn't work. Let me fix that real quick.
Missing a bracket.
Yeah.
23 is a miss.
I'm just fixing the bracket before I roll a second one.
That'll hit.
Yep. And I will need you to roll me a fortitude save.
Yep, because mummies and all their roddery. 30.
You seem fine.
Yay.
And now 4 attacks against Afixa.
That'll hit.
Okay, will save. And this, are you immune to disease?
I am immune to all disease, including mummy rot.
Yep. So you're going to be immune to that, but you will still take the attacks. Second attack will miss. Oh, this is flanking, so +2, so 34.
That'll
might
meet.
hit you.
Yep.
Yep.
I see.
Third attack, if it'll roll. 34 for 22. And final slam, 38 for 22.
Some solid rolls in there.
Yep. As they all just dogpile on Afixa, and then my cat keeps sneezing. I just turn and I just hear.
Classic. God damn it, cat.
Yep. That is his name in our group. The goddamn it, cat.
I've never heard his name other than
Sebastian or Bastion.
I like the name. I give him better.
Usually
Like
it's good to
goddamn
jump
cat.
on Richard Claws out.
God damn it, cat. Dose is going to use lunge to full attack. That's cool. Since I don't really want to mess with moving.
Okay. He technically would be behind you guys because I couldn't fit you.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be within range rates right now. He'd be like
Even with
or
lunge.
like he'd be like 2 tiles back. He still wouldn't be in range.
All right, then he will not lunge.
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't have a place to put him right now because it's a small corridor.
Understood. Just got to take off Blood for the Empire because he's not going to hit. So Emmanuel will fire. He's going to do a full attack.
Who are you targeting?
Starting on this guy and going to this guy if you'll let me.
Yeah. You don't have clustered shots on or anything, so.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That and pummeling style, that kind of stuff is the only time
Yeah.
I say you can't move them. Hit,
Bad
miss,
shots.
and miss. Creature takes some of that, I believe. Let me see. CR, take some of it off. Okay. Bring it around to Lucilla.
All right. So first thing I'm going to do, religion check. Religion, 25.
25. Let me see. I have to look up how knowledge is determined for this.
Yeah, this is mostly just so I can see if my bardic thing can work on them or not.
Yeah, I know. It's just you have to. DC
Yeah.
is equal to 10 plus the monster's CR. Okay, so yeah, you do. These are just advanced mummies.
Gotcha. And we already know vulnerable to fire.
Yeah, vulnerable to fire with that knowledge roll. You would also know they're immune to the normal undead things. They have some DR that is just DR everything.
Yep.
They can cause mummy rot, and I should have had Emmanuel do it on his turn, but on your turn too, I need you both to make me a will save. So Emmanuel, if you want to do that retroactively.
All right. Even though no physical contact?
Yep. This is just a radius from them. It is an aura.
24 is halfling.
24. You both managed to resist the mummy's despair.
Excellent. So then I will just begin Lucille's naturalist performance.
Staying put otherwise.
Yep, I'm not getting in close. That's how I die.
Brings us up to Pledrum.
Pledrum. All right. Bardic. And then I guess let's move up and attack.
Double.
Actually, before you do, I keep forgetting. Roll will save because you're also affected by this aura.
All right. I have the Room Forge penalty on. I don't know if I should.
You shouldn't anymore, but either way, you're fine.
Okay, it'll be 2 higher. All right. Is there a reason you're step back there, Gork? Is just because you haven't gone yet?
I haven't had my turn yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna 5-foot step up and lay into this sucker. So
yeah,
you can throw.
you could 5-foot step and then full attack throw.
yeah. So 5-foot step and then throw into.
You can just make a full attack. It doesn't have any penalties because it's within 10 feet.
All right. I've got.
And I guarantee they will not pass. So this will always be against flat-footed. So
Friendly rivalry. All right.
I think you can do a full attack since you only did a 5 foot. If you want to just hit your full attack button.
Oh well, that's the first roll at least. So.
Okay, the first one will miss then. Second attack will miss as well.
Damn.
So not even so much as it misses as it hits them. It doesn't seem to affect them. You have to throw a little more oomph behind it. It hits their touch, but it doesn't get past their flat-footed armored hide, or not even hide, bone. Dork will save. It is a paralysis, mind-affecting fear effect if any bonuses are on.
All right. I am going to re-roll that because it's that time. Shit.
Well, you are paralyzed for 1 round.
Would adding a +4 by tapping my other hero point change that?
No.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah.
It would make it 23.
Yeah. 23? Yeah, it would.
All right. I'll do that then. So I'm out of hero points.
You're out of hero points, but you do resist the despair.
All right. 5-foot step. Let's see. Got the buffs.
I'm not going to do it for this fight because I forgot, but if you wind up running into any more mummies or you retreat or something, apparently despair only gets you immune to 1 mummy's despair.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's usually per source.
Yep. So I'll just have it happen every round in exchange. So.
And use it. Full attack. Bear claw. Ignore the grab. I'm not doing that.
Yep. Miss, hit, miss.
All right.
Decent AC on these things.
And then, that's natural 1 on the bear bite, so that's not happening. And yeah, that's it.
Man, if only you had Cleve.
Right.
This is prime Cleveland real estate.
But she'll full attack this one, and if she kills, she'll shift the other. My weapon counts as good for the purposes of DR.
You shouldn't still have angelic aspect on if you do have that on.
No, that's plus weapon.
Okay. I'm just letting you know if you still had that on your
Yep.
buffs.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
that's we're way past that.
Jesus Christ.
What do
So
you
yeah,
want?
that second one the first one confirmed, second one
It's
missing.
actually Saren Ray, not Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
Saren Christ. So shield and second attack miss, but the other two hit and confirm. But that'll be just enough to kill that one.
Okay. And then swift action, lay on hands on myself.
As you do.
Trying to remember what level it's at. Or I don't think I have the macro on this.
Well, while
Okay,
you're doing
there's-
that, I'll go ahead and let Reach take their turn.
5 back. Upcast. Fireball. This will be 1 higher for the upcast, but it'll be selective as well.
Okay, so
So DC 23. Which they'll probably make, but
I'm just gonna type this out and so I can copy paste the rest of them. Really rolled a 19 on that one. Well, doop, 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 and doop. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're dead, Jim.
Nice.
Contributed.
Holy shit.
They were weak to fire, so.
Yeah, but they had amazing high ACs.
I mean, that's the trade-off. There's always weaknesses and buffs to each creature.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really on point, Reach. Well done, gentlemen. Shall we move forward?
Well, might as well.
Reach, you can move if you wish, since you only used the fireball.
Yeah, but a 5-foot step.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just go ahead and go down to Emmanuel. Mr. DePardo.
Well, as I like to say, it's time to do a little reconnoitre in here after clearing all the bad guys. We'll do a perception.
So, looking around the room, doesn't seem to be a whole lot in this chamber. The skulls on the walls are basically reliefs for coffins that just peering past the skulls, you can tell have already been looted. Though each skeleton does seem to have a glinting gem encrusted into their eye.
We should probably collect those on the way back. That'll be his turn.
Yep. Lucilla?
I shall end the performance. Don't need to be burning rounds on that. I shall advance into room. And I will wait there.
Blood.
Let's 5-foot step up. Are all the mummies gone?
They're all the fight's over now. Now it's back to exploration.
Okay.
Reach fireballed them into oblivion.
Okay. I guess that's where I'll go.
Gotcha. Dork.
Do we open the door or?
Yeah, I'm.
Go for it, bud.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
get going.
I headbutt the door.
It hurts because it's made of metal, but then you
Really?
find the handle and open it up.
I do it harder.
Eventually, you find the handle and open it up. That's why there's a nice gork-shaped face dent.
I made it yield.
He's smarter than he looks.
So yeah, inside you see a four-way intersection with a steep drop on the sides of the walkway. You see a ceiling that rises in a dome 30 feet above the walkway. While looking down from what you can see in this angle, looks like it drops away into a dizzyingly deep pit.
Oh,
The cross-shaped bridge is of marble. It stretches across the pit, allowing access to a set of 4 different doors. You see bas-relief carvings of incredible detail that have been carved into the curved walls and the 4 corners of the room, each under a word written in spiky runes. One hand holds aloft a sprig of grapes and a loaf of bread. One holds a wedge of cheese and a haunch of meat. Another wields a platter heaped with candies, and the last simply stands with arms crossed, his mouth wide and grinning to display teeth that have been filed to points. Below each carving, the wall drops into the darkness, where, from what you can see with your dark vision, dozens of stone sarcophagi are visible.
is this a tomb or a supermarket?
Yes.
Hmm.
But yep, Apixa, you're up. Unless Gork, you want to move in any further?
I'll just take one step over the threshold. Done.
Gotcha.
Fix will cast angelic aspect on herself,
Gotcha.
and that way she has the ability to fly just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Make her way in.
Yeah. As you get in here and you can like look down into this pit, how much dark vision does Apixa have?
I think 120.
120. You
Yeah.
still cannot see the bottom of the shaft.
It's a deep pit. Are these doors? Is this southern door meant to be open?
It is.
Okay.
Not, but I left it open, so it is in our world.
Okay. Then I'll use one more land hands.
In this timeline.
God damn it, Cat! Why do you keep sneezing?
Told you. That's his name.
God damn it,
Sure.
cat.
Sure, it responds to it more.
I mean, it responds to anything. I can call it little bitch tits, and it'll still respond.
He knows from experience.
Mhm.
That'd be my turn.
Okay. Reesh.
It may be related to God damn it, cat, because that was God damn it, son.
We got 3 directions since we came from the 4th.
Oh, there is a 4th one. Straight down.
Yeah,
This
looking
is
up,
accurate.
Reesh, you do see the writing on the walls that are in this room are in Thassalon. They're just single words that you can make out. Named, they're obviously like people's names or family names: Enib, Gorian, Onstrian, and Zeriak.
Sure, there'll be a quiz later.
If you see
Ugh,
Henderson, those are Yetis. That is not just your neighbor.
The callback.
Yeah. Gonna end your turn there, Reesh?
Yeah, it was a double move. Don't feel like going further quite yet.
Emmanuel.
We'll step in. And this is still flat here, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like a curve. Like it goes up and then back down in the walkway. Like it's like an arch. Like this is like an arch stepway that goes up to like a central 10-foot area, and then it goes down in each
Comes
path.
down a little bit. Okay. Then he had 5 more. So he's, of course, going to stand, or actually had a whole lot more. So he's going to stand at the precipice.
Right at the tippy top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's feeling himself real big right now.
Raisin. Phil.
There's a different wing for that. I'll stop there.
Okay. Bedroom up next.
All right. Here, 15 feet. Everyone's walking in. All right. That is my move.
Okay. York.
All right, going south.
Go for it. Give me a second. Tabs for days.
See, it looks like there's some kind of like rock boxes. Anything there, any of you?
Are they person-sized?
Yeah.
Probably. Sarcophagi.
Unless
What?
you could hold one on your shoulder, and then it might just be a boom box.
Stone boxes where bodies are placed.
You don't just let them return to nature?
It depends on the culture, not always.
Seems wasteful. Maggots got to eat too.
You're not wrong.
I'll just step over the threshold, but then wait for everyone else.
Gotcha. Dixon.
Do you think I should check to see what's down below, or keep going ahead?
I've done the hall. The rest of you discuss.
I would let's take one area at a time.
She'll go there. And there. Heal 3.
Okay, so give me a second, because you're going to kick things off again.
That's what I do.
Okay, so as you enter this room, a single sarcophagus of gold sits atop a white marble plinth at the far western end of this wide hall. A bas-relief lid depicts a handsome man holding a sprig of grapes and a bottle of wine crossed over his chest. The eyes are large star sapphires, and the grapes appear to be individual gemstones that could be worked free with the right tools. 5 wide alcoves in the room are carved with dozens of narrow niches, each of which contains a different bottle of what appears to be wine. Though the more pressing issue as you approach is a massive golem. The picture's a little weird because what it is the body itself resembles a woman with the lower torso of a serpent, but for a head it has the Sahedron rune.
Is it made of body parts?
Roll me a religion. This is actually a. You would know because you fought something similar. This is just a metal golem.
Oh, okay.
I got a thing for this.
D5.
This actually depicts the image of a goddess known as Lysala, the goddess of runes. But that will be an initiative on its part, so give me a second.
Just be glad it's not Urgathoa.
For the 1000th time. Or no, that's...
No. We were dealing with Lamash too.
No, yeah, I was going to correct myself there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Urgathoa's true form is disturbing.
Which one is the mother of monsters?
That would be Lamash too.
Okay. I'm not too sure on Urgathoa then.
The goddess of undeath, gluttony, and lust. But mainly undead. She's credited with being the first undead to ever exist.
Damn, this bitch got 3/4 of the 40k pantheon.
Yeah, she's kind of a big deal. From the waist up, she's an attractive naked lady. From the waist down, it's just bloody skeleton. It's very upsetting.
Give me 1 second, sorry.
I know it was gluttony and undeath, but let me double check. Was I right for the last? Hold on.
Party in the front, business in the back.
Anyway. It's music time change.
Oh, sorry. Disease, gluttony, undeath, not lust. Yeah, areas of
So
concern.
that did take your full turn to get to there, Fixa.
Mhm.
So it will be Risha's turn.
30. Can't see it, so 10, 15. Huh.
Yeah, like I said, the image is a little weird.
Yeah, no, that's
It's like a
Wouldn't
weird
even know it's
Naga creature with like a sigil for a head.
I just keep seeing it as a top-down view of somebody in one of those like wide brim Ronin hats.
that's a double.
You have-
move.
Have a picture you can put in the chat.
I do not. This token was provided to me by someone who made a bunch of tokens for this game.
Okay.
Emmanuel,
Emmanuel.
come shoot it.
Did you say don't shoot it?
Shoot it. Shoot it. Shoot it. Shoot it.
Shoot her!
Shoot her! Oh, crap. All right, so 30 to there. Can't see anybody yet. 40. Okay, I can see now. I see you. Do I see you? Okay, 45 feet. All right, so strange person, met him in the dark. I will shoot them. No point blank shot, deadly aim. Swift action, put on my aspects. No one's hit her yet?
No one's made an attack yet.
Yep, and no buffs, no bardics or anything.
Nope.
Boom, boom. All right. Prove vital strike with gravity shock. How?
That will hit. Let me see. PR is. Okay, so a good amount of it gets through.
All right. Bear's Q token isn't working for some reason.
Q
This
token?
would be, yeah, when I press Q to usually make it count distance.
It might just be something to do with Roll20 because
Yeah.
Oh, now
I
it's
just-
working. I just had to move him a little bit more into my sight.
gotcha.
So that was probably 10, 25, 35,
Yeah,
50.
10.
55 to here. 65. Do we want to put his face in front of a fixa?
No, I still got Sanctuary up.
Okay.
And it'll be easier if he approaches.
Yep.
So, I don't
So
affect this
double
thing.
move for him. On
Gotcha.
the spice, twice as nice.
So yeah, it will go up to you and try to make an attack. So it has to make a will save.
Yeah, we'll save DC 22.
So I can see this thing for the first time now. It just looks like a cookie.
I know the token's weird. I imagine that won't work, so it just loses its action.
Let's see. Can't follow through its attack, and that part of its action is lost.
Yeah, and it already stopped it moving, so I'll just say it ends its turn there. Lucilla.
Also, I realized I don't think she ever lit a torch for herself, so that's why she doesn't have any sight right now.
Ah, fair point.
Yeah, she's following around blind. Did you want to light a torch as your action?
Especially before she walks into the room with the pits.
Mm-hmm.
Got like 24 ever burnings.
I think we've established that you gave her one, so.
Yeah, but still pulled one out. Hey, there it is. That's her double move.
Gotcha. Pledrum.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
You may not be able to see it, but there's a cookie in front of us.
Can I come down this direction and start my bardic performance? But that is a double move, so that'll be my
I
whole
forgot
turn.
what the statues are holding. That'd be a horrible thing. Cookie golem.
Gork, you're up.
Okay. Pledrum Bardic. Let's get a good. Okay. Don't think I can charge because I had to go weird around that angle there. Right?
Yeah.
So there's no way I can actually really attack at this turn. Well, I'll just wait here, see if it gets in close. I'll full defense to boost my AC by 4.
Gotcha. Fixa.
All right. Fill a bit from her lay on hands, 5-foot step up, and full attack.
Do it to it. Hit, miss, hit. First one will bypass any DR because it's an adamantine DR.
Yep.
Then the shield will not, however. It takes a little bit from that. It is still up and still going strong. I imagine your sanctuary's gone after you do that.
Yep, I just removed it.
Okay. Brings us to Rish.
Yeah, magic is largely useless against golems. So I guess I'll just take bot shot with the crossbow.
That'll miss.
Yep.
Manuel.
All right. Dose is going to stay where he is and use lunge. He's going to attack first. And this counts as big. Do we have blood for the Empire going?
It's been wounded by a Fixa, so whatever that means for you.
I don't think she has it.
No. Although, what's the next time we get the teamwork feat? 15?
Yeah,
And we got
15.
Bardic buff up.
Okay.
All right. So he is going to full attack. He's going to improved unarmed first.
Go for it. Hit does not confirm.
Okay. Then he's going to claw. No grab on those.
Both of those will miss.
All right. And then he's going to bite.
That'll hit.
And he is going to slam.
And that'll hit.
All right. And he did lunge, so his AC is lower. And then Emmanuel is going to attack. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to... Can you 5-foot step diagonal? That's a 10-foot Pathfinder, isn't it?
No, it's the second diagonal move that counts as...
second diagonal becomes 15, but any diagonal will be 5. It's just a 5-foot.
Okay.
A little weird.
All right, so he can point blank shot now. Bardic aspects, I think, are already up. Blood from the Empire, and he is going to. We've got Bardic buff, and he is going to use his move action for bullseye shot. Aim. He's going to take a improved vital.
Nope. That's
Natural
a natural
one.
one.
Hero point to reroll?
Yeah, I'll use.
Didn't
one.
you use your hero points, or did you only use one?
I haven't used a single one.
I've used all
Okay.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah, Emmanuel being in the background, I don't think I've used many of his in any of our sessions. Oh, that was a clutch hero.
Well, it is still up, but barely.
So does that do 98 damage or 40 plus 98?
No, 98.
Okay.
40 is the crit confirm, and then 56 would be the normal damage. 98 would be the crit damage.
Gotcha.
It does have some DR, but the fact that you hit it that hard, it is in the single digits.
That might be the most powerful single hit in our campaign so far.
So it's going to go and it's going to slam. Actually, it's going to free action haste itself. So it then gets 3 slams against Afixa. So first slam, 33.
Miss.
Second slam, 43.
That'll hit.
And just to let you know, make sure to track that somewhere on your sheet. Those will not heal through magical means.
Okay.
Or they will, but you require a caster level check each time you try to heal.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, they are stuck permanently damaged. And its last attack, 47 for 20.
Okay.
So you have 42 points of damage that has to be spell check to be healed.
We had those before. Was that in Way of the Wicked?
Yeah.
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 What? Okay.
Yeah. In
From the
the
golem.
yeah, from the golems in the first wall that you had to break.
Yeah,
That
it
castle,
was that
yeah.
part of that campaign where all the fights kind of blurred together for me because as Manfred, I'm like, and then I do nothing. Woo!
So this is going to happen right before Lucilla's turn. Reese, you have time to see a cloaked figure run by you as it is going to stab at Emmanuel flat-footed as he snuck up behind you all. I rolled his stealth. It was in the upper 40s. So
Nice.
it is going to make an attack against you. Is it going to try to bite you or is it going to try to stab you?
How do you do flat-footed? Is that just minus
It should have
armor?
it should have it on your sheet already,
No, it should already.
My sheet's fucked up.
but it should still have a spot for it.
Yeah, it should just list next to your AC, flat-footed AC.
I'm pretty sure it's not 5 higher than my AC.
Wait, AC, touch, flat-footed. Why is your flat-footed 41?
I've been telling you since
What the fuck is with
this
your sheets?
campaign. It's messed up.
I think that's a you problem.
Flat-footed is your regular AC minus anything that would come from Dex or Dodge.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you have
God,
dodge, your dex.
So I would basically only keep my armor.
Yeah, and your toughness.
So
There-
just
any
10
na-
plus 11 plus
Natural armor.
1,
Yeah,
2.
deflection would be gone. Dex would be gone according to your sheet.
Okay,
two
so
from
23.
deflection.
I would have a 23. What about
I think you
magic?
keep deflection.
Yeah.
Oh, does it keep deflection? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well,
25.
24, 25.
All your magic is just deduct dex because you don't have any dodge. So what is your AC minus your dex?
Dex right now is plus 9, so 36 minus 9 would be 27.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's going to stab at you.
Stabby a lot.
That's a crit. Let me roll to confirm. 28 to confirm.
I think I said
27.
27. Yeah, I was thinking
So
29.
that will confirm.
Damn it.
I'm just checking his stuff because he has a few things.
What sucks is I'm not standing next to Dose because I could, so many little animal tricks he could completely negate it all.
So you just take the 24 points of damage.
Okay.
And then as he hits you, Dose looks over at him and is immediately panicked and has to run away from him with no save.
From this guy.
Yes.
So he has to run that way.
Yeah, take no action other than to flee.
into the cookie.
As he's just a bowling ball to all of us ahead of him.
Good.
Yep. And as he stabs you and he pulls his blade back, it has a little bit of blood. He just kind of licks it. He's like, flesh. It's been a while. And Lucilla.
I'm gonna 5-foot step here, and I'm gonna trip his ass.
Go for it.
Shazam!
Misses.
Thought so. Worth a shot.
Trip's always a nice chance.
Is she
Am I with-
flanking?
Even with that, it wouldn't have mattered, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter if she is or not. Pledrum.
Is it?
Okay. Here is the move. I'm gonna come in past Dos Eses.
Wait, Pledrum, before you go, you do realize this ninja thing crept up behind us and just started stabbing us in the back.
What, you can't handle that, Emmanuel? You tell me you're afraid of this guy?
I was just making sure you saw he was there because I'm
He's
gonna
just
go
looking
with Dose.
He's looking at both Pledrum and Emmanuel like, There's
All
both
right,
of
I
you.
guess I can help you, Emmanuel, if you really
She's just there
want
I think
I don't want any of
tactically
this.
It would be best if you would come over here.
that. All right.
I think this argument is going on while Emmanuel has the knife in him.
I have to run away now from this knife that is in my liver.
AC. Yep, both of those will hit.
All right. That's the damage it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Knives, very low calorie count, but just reeks of hell on your liver.
Gork.
Too many minerals for my diet.
Well, I really wanted to smash this golem, but fine. I had this fancy scarab for it and everything. Charge.
I mean, you still can.
Yeah, Fix has got it. All right, let's see. Have you hit him? Yeah, Pledgeum's hit him, so it's blood for the Empire. Our attack.
Flanking.
Yeah, that'll just have to be manually added on top. Yeah. Natural 20, 40 to confirm.
That'll confirm.
50 points of damage. It is silver, cold iron, magic.
He seems to take all of it.
Excellent.
Yeah, bitch.
Well, actually,
That's
no,
what
he
you
doesn't-
get for poking.
He does seem to resist a little bit with that, but not by much. I.e., DR5 maybe.
Yeah. And that's all I gorked.
Gotcha. The Fixa.
If I full attack him and kill him on the first blow, would it be possible to
move, yeah.
do that?
Some cocky shit.
I would like to
Yeah.
re-roll that first attack.
You little bow. Fine. Yep, that'll hit and that'll kill.
All right.
Swing, swong, swing, swong, swong.
Let's see.
It is gone.
Can't fly there. All right, I'll just go here and land hands on myself. So I get 3 more hit points back. Then you said I have to do a spell check to see if it heals.
Huh? Oh, that's if you're casting a spell. You're using your lay on hands, isn't it?
Yeah. Does
Yeah,
that
you're fine.
work or no?
Yeah.
Pull.
Yeah, if you're casting a spell of 3rd level or lower right now, it doesn't work in 10 feet radius of a Fixa.
I gotcha.
Is that for healing the hit points from the golem damage?
That's why I'm.
Oh, sorry. I was mixed up. Sorry. I was thinking of your
Yeah.
aura.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, you need to make a spellcraft.
All right.
No, not a spellcraft. What am I saying?
Cast level
A
check.
Caster level.
caster level check.
That's just 1d20 plus my caster level.
Yep. 24. It doesn't seem to be able to get through the damage he dealt to you.
Okay. Well, still top me off to what I'm available.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
you're down 42 or 44.
down 42.
42.
So max I could get is 102.
Until you can remove it.
Yep.
Or heal it, but it requires healing.
Bit of oomph.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, encountering that out of character in 2 different sessions, that's one of the higher level worst things that can happen, because we talk about death just being not an issue. We can always heal up after fights.
Well,
That
that's
is
kind of
one
a
of
joke.
that thing where you can't heal up after this fight. That's big.
Yeah. And the whole death thing is more of a joke, because literally if a fix-it dies, then we're all screwed in that department. So.
Then you're just going to go fishing.
Yep.
Anyway,
I think
Reese.
so.
Since he's ignoring me and that thing is dead, I'm gonna use a
He
point
will take an
to
AOO
tele-
from you. Oh, teleport. Yeah, I keep forgetting
Yeah.
you have that. I'm an idiot.
Dimensional slide.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
use
should
it too
remember.
often.
I had it and I used it like religiously.
Oh yeah, if you have Arcadist stuff, you always get dimensional slide.
Yeah, scales nicely too.
Yeah, it's just good.
Yeah,
Right
could
over.
try to take a pot shot. Could try to use a low level spell, but it fixes the aura.
You using the aura.
I'll just pass turn because I don't have the point blank or whatever it is to shoot into melee and actually be able to hit.
Wait, what aura are you talking about?
You have the angelic aspect, don't you?
Angelic.
Not greater, so it doesn't come with that aura.
Oh, does it not? I thought it came with it at the
Nope.
second the normal
Only
version
the
of it.
greater one
Nope,
has
only
it.
greater.
Greater comes with the 4 or lower. The medium comes with 3 or
Pretty
lower.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
I don't remember it being.
I'm
Yeah,
there.
looking it up right
no.
now. Angelic aspect. Let's see. Also, you only gain lesser globe of invulnerability with greater, so you only get 3rd level and lower with greater. You don't get anything
Okay.
with regular.
I remember.
Still
I thought I
knocks
read
off all my lower spells.
Yeah. But she
So-
only has regular angelic aspect on right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, it is your turn. You 5-foot step back.
And just
He steps with you.
checking bonuses. All right, he's coming with me. Motherfucker.
Where are you going, pretty boy? I want to taste that flesh.
Full attack.
He is going to attack of opportunity because he's within melee.
Yep.
24 will probably miss.
Yep. Wait,
Natural 2.
is it against flat-footed?
No.
Or?
That was because he caught you when he was stealth. So,
Okay.
can you fire into melee when you're? Doesn't he take a penalty?
I
Like
think
a
you
-4?
take a -2,
Then AOO as well if he doesn't
Yeah.
have my Blake Master.
and he took the AOO.
Yeah, he took the AOO, missed.
Think it's a -2. I know you can fire into melee. The negative
Yeah, I'm
is
just looking
you
it
get
up.
an AOO.
-4. Yeah.
Okay.
So the last one will miss, but the other 2 will hit.
And this time being smarter with an Undead Bane era,
Gotcha. That does
So
hit him,
that-
and it does undead bane him.
and that would be 48.
Go for it. 20.
So that bypassing the DR, I guess.
He really wants to hit you, but you seem a little harder to hit, so he's going to turn his attention to Pledrum. And he is going to full attack Pledrum. So here's the full attack, and then there's going to be a bite in addition to this. Wow, 4 and a 1. I think the
Oh.
26 will hit him.
I'm going to put Dose way over here since he's running away.
The 26 will, yes, hit.
So you'll take 13. In addition, this is a human bane dagger. So you'll take an additional 3 points.
All right.
And then he's also going to bite you.
Does Vane add 1d6 or 2d? Oh, you did roll. Okay.
I know, I
sorry.
just rolled really poorly.
Well, that is a natural 20 on the bite, so.
Will not confirm. So you only take 7 points of damage. But as he bites into you, he pulls a piece of flesh free and begins to chew on it as he begins to heal from chewing on your flesh. Like, you taste good.
Hey, spit it out. Spit it out.
Now
That's
it's
just
mine.
rude.
Like a dog.
Usilla.
You know what? I am just going to go full turtle mode. Use the full defense.
Mm-hmm.
That'll give Emmanuel +3 to his AC.
Is it everybody around you, or is it just
Everyone. Yeah, actually, it would affect you as well. Yeah, it's everyone adjacent to me who's an ally.
All right, so
Isn't it
fix
10
Gork
foot
as well.
since you have a whip?
No, it's not a. And it has nothing to do with a weapon.
How much does it go up by?
3.
He just
It's Pledrum's turn.
flick off friendly rivalry and turn on blood for the Empire.
Mm-hmm. That will hit and then a miss.
They takes 33 bludgeoning.
He does. He's not looking the hottest, but he's still up. But who knows how long after Gork gets a hold of him.
Is it Gork clock?
What you
Gork's
gonna
on
do,
the top
brother,
row.
when Gork runs wild on you?
Bear claws.
He's coming in with the bear.
Bear bite. Well, that bear
Okay.
bite is gonna miss.
So hit,
+2 to
miss.
all those for flanking.
Yeah, so the first 2 will hit. Are you grabbing him?
No.
Okay. He's still up. But he is surrounded. Fix it.
Going in for the kill. Full attack.
Yeah, because we weren't trying to kill him before.
And he's dead. As you cleave this cannibalistic zombie in half.
It's a zombie.
Would I roll the spell level for my fast healing or no? Does it
Yeah, if you have fast healing, you can roll it for that as well.
Fix, are you to tell if I'm going to get some kind of disease from this?
Still nothing. You're still stuck at 102.
So
I-
rolls religion.
if so, I think I might be able to help you, but I could do a knowledge religion, like you said. Would that be an action, or could I just roll it?
Platinum's not going to get diseased by this guy.
Okay.
That's why I rolled the religion for Lucilla.
If he had time to grapple one of you people, he could have made a fortitude save to eat your brain and then kill you because of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys were a little too grouped up for him to do that, but if one of you had stayed back, he would have tried to grapple you, and if he had just one more round, he could have then made a
Fucking eat your brain.
fortitude save to try to eat your brain, and if you fail the fortitude save, you just are killed.
Jeez.
The
So-
classic mind flare move.
But it doesn't matter because you were all grouped up and he was slaughtered soundly. As the room is now secure, we will end it there until next time. Also, by the way, you're all level 15.
Huzzah!
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yep. So you will get that extra teamwork feat at level 15. So you can discuss amongst each other what you want for that.